Okay, that's where Gamma. We're about to go over everything. We're about to go over it all. I just gotta get my shit situated because I was off from the normal setup. So I gotta move some stuff around real quick. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay. I thought you read it already. No, I haven't streamed since Adora's document came out. This is my first stream that I'm actually getting to cover Adora's document, stuff that's been posted after that, everything going on. So, getting into it, I'll go ahead and we've done the tracker unboxing, so we're in the drama updates section. Let me bring my screen up. Let me bring the screen up, and we dive in. Starting with, to give context to anybody new, anybody who might not have been here for the last streams that I've done, going over this, on August 6th, Radioactive put out an abuse allegations document against another VTuber named Adora Bunny. And in this document, this was a 92-page Google Doc covering a myriad of things. You can see all the tabs over here and whatnot. Is this... I didn't get to see the tabs before. I didn't get to see the tabs before because there are so many people on the site. It didn't show. And it looks like there's been some update to the page because there are actually 93 pages to the document now. I don't know what has been changed, but to give...
Should I charge those for you?
Oh, I mean, I'll charge them after stream. That's fine. Oh, you can, absolutely. To give a summary, we're gonna go over just a summary of all of the issues that were covered in this document, things that Adora did, and Radia's injuries in response to those. Before I go into, Adora has put out a response document, so we'll be going over that. But to give the context of it, all of the accusations of Adora's actions are casually doxing Radia's name, background, and information to multiple uninvolved third parties in pursuit of her slander campaign. Authored the creation of a list of grievances, what could be referred to as a cancel doc, which was both over-exaggerated and completely imagined / falsified, which she forwarded to outside parties as truth after doctoring them to remove anything related to herself. Arranged for an intervention under false pretenses, which was poorly disguised cover to ambush Radia in a format she could not escape from, and designed to maximize humiliation and mental anguish, demanding Radia to take a forced break from streaming for an intentionally vague amount of time under the threat of being thrown out of Project STEM. Project STEM being a group of, like, girls in STEM that are VTubers. This group consisted of, initially, Adora Bunny, Radioactive, Palmetto Master, and Fenari Mori. The group is it seems like it's gonna be shut down after everything that's going on, but we'll get into that later. So just to give y'all context of what Project STEM is, used incredibly flimsy justification to prove Radia wasn't sorry as justification to force Radia out of Project STEM, engaged in deceptive and manipulative language to place all of the blame for the invented wrongdoing solely on Radia, while engaging in deliberate deception that she was doing this out of concern for Radia's well-being, engaged in a sustained campaign of slander across the content sphere to countless content creators, both mutual friends and an unknown number of uninvolved parties, attempting to paint Radia as manipulative, greedy, content-rotted, and a compulsive liar that had falsified her entire history for malicious ends, attempted and succeeded in isolating Radia from her entire social sphere and support network for the sake of making her learn her lesson for perceived slights and imaginary wrongdoings, accused Radia of falsifying her medical history for personal gain, accused Radia for falsifying her education and career for personal gain, accused Radia of money hoarding, digging into Radia's personal background through all available public resources and using it to build a false narrative of Radia's dishonesty, attempted sabotage of Radia's romantic relationship as a part of the slander campaign, attempting to provide her partner with a heavily editorialized and abusive account of events when Radia was unable to speak up for her own defense, twisting her version of what transpired based on who she was speaking to based on what she believed would be the most sympathetically received, ensuring no person ever received the same story as another, and active denial of these actions, attempting to play the victim when third parties began investigating outside of her ability to control and threaten them. That is just everything that Adora has done from Radia's perspective. And so, going after Also, oh, hi, Burn. How's it going? I hope someone makes a third docky comparing both of the current docky and pointing out the problems of both. That's not a bad idea, Nick. That's not a bad idea. And so that's everything that Radia is accusing Adora of. And then from that, Radia's injuries include suffering immense psychological anguish and agony as her social network was forcibly ripped away from her, was reduced to tears and begging apologies for things she did not do in an attempt to keep her friendship she valued and placate someone she believed was her best friend, need to be hospitalized 4 days after initial onset due to heart palpitations, extreme stress due to attempts to be private and professional about the matter due to not wanting to bother others, had personal identifying information leaked to outside uninvolved parties by someone she previously trusted / espoused as a sister, suffered isolation from her friends and loved ones due to slander and rumor mongering, considered on multiple occasions leaving content entirely to appease Adora and defuse the situation, delay in her ability to re-enter education plans due to the situation, resulting in an irreversible loss of significant amount of financial aid, loss of her roommate, who Radia considered to be family, the sudden drop in her mental health and sharp drop in income left her unable to support their college plans, severe decline in income due to a combination of slander campaigns, and the sharp decline in her mental health, inhibiting her from her ability to stream, ongoing fear and trauma from believing nobody would believe her if she told her side of the story, harassment of the people who even spoke to her at conventions leading to further isolation, and nearly successful self-deletion attempt due to extreme isolation and genuine belief that there was no other way out. That is just a summary. That is just a summary of the 93-page document that Radia put out against Adora. Oh, it actually says at the very end. Oh, okay. They just added direct evidence of doxing up front and hyperlinks to parts of the document. So that's just a summary of this doc. We went over this doc in a previous stream. And so what we are waiting on, a lot of us, would be Adora's response to this doc. Also, hi Cole, how's it going? Just going over VTuber drama, which we did get a lot sooner than expected too. Adora on August 8th, funny enough, my anniversary, that's why I didn't stream that day. I also don't stream on Fridays. But August 8th, Adora Bunny put out the response to Radia's allegation. And we will be going over this document. There are several references to audio recordings and some parts of like clips from streams that I'll show the clips of the streams. I won't go into the audio recordings. I did listen to them myself. Good God, those audio recordings are a mess. So I'll give y'all a summary of what happens in the audio recording. I'll be honest, I hated listening to all of them. They made me feel very icky, but I'll get into that once we get to those sections. For now, we're just gonna go right into it. I don't think it works like that, Goal. That avatar's not in there. So Adora's response. She starts with, hi everyone. I first want to start off, actually, let me zoom into this. 150. Here we go. Says, hi everyone. I first want to start off by saying this response is going to go into heavy personal information on my side of the situation, including my past self-deletion attempt and past SA. Please be warned before proceeding, which let me go ahead and put a trigger warning at the top. What do I want to suicide mentions and sexual assault mentions. Just to let anybody who might be sensitive to that, put that up there. She recorded them without permission, which is in some states is illegal. I don't know what state she is in, so I can't confirm or deny if she did commit a crime by recording them. With that, like, I know, for example, Texas is a one-party state where only one party has to, like, be aware and acknowledging that a recording is happening. Even if that party is yourself, that does count. So I don't know where Adora is to be able to say if she committed a crime with that. I am aware that she did not get permission to record these conversations. So continuing on, this is a 47-page document, but it is long, primarily because there are screenshots taking space. Most states in the U.S. are one-party consent for recording. Exactly. So I don't know where she is. If she's in a state that isn't a one-party consent, I can only assume that she would be in a state that's a one-party consent, but again, I don't know. And so this document is in timeline order, so we're gonna go in order to start to finish. She does say this should have never gone public because ultimately it was a fault between two best friends that no longer trusted each other, hurt each other, and one side decided to make it the world's business. I don't know why she needed to when over the past 6 weeks since I took my hiatus after my self-deletion attempt, I have never spoken her name to a soul. First and had moved on with my life. I'm glad to still be here and hoping to move on finally after all of this. However, she continued to spiral and refused to take any extended olive branch through the neutral third parties. So now here we are, and she's going to show every shred of evidence. Big VTubers and consent in the same sentence. Oh my god. Adora says, I want to start off by saying Radia has deleted every single DM she has ever sent me on Discord. So if she hadn't backed them up in fear of being this cancellation of her happening, she wouldn't have the evidence. And she shows a screenshot of all of the DMs being deleted. So it just looks like Adora was talking to herself this entire time. So the beginning, she says, in Project STEM, myself, Palmetto Master, and Finari Mori had begun to have issues over the previous month with Radioactive's behavior. She had spoken to us about several issues over things such as being ungrateful towards her community for not giving her enough money, while saying this before us, while myself, Palmetto Master, and Finari had to deal with our own financial issues. This happened multiple times, including during the Project STEM debut stream on her channel that we all agreed to do together. During this stream, she ended up yelling at a chat member for saying, I won't feel sorry for you, to one of Alicia's community members when the conversation at hand was about giving money to the members of Project STEM and our friends. I do not have possession of this clip and hope one can come forward by an involved party that has the clip. And then below is the conversation we had in the past in regards to her not wanting to stream because she isn't making enough money. An unrelated party has been censored as they are not a part of Project STEM, but this is not our first or last conversation that we ever had with Radia about money or her telling us that she did not feel supported by her community. So that's what this is. So I didn't like the class and sent them. You're on time, Tricks. We just started. We're literally in the beginning section. You're so okay. So this is Radia saying, I'm hoping it is that I've just had a really jank luck this year. I told my community I wouldn't take a hiatus, but the return on putting myself out there for 4 hours is not worth it at the moment, like emotionally or fiscally. So that's her complaining about not making enough money there. And this, oh gee. No way is that Yay J-Bay in my chat right now? Oh my god, I'm a huge fan. Oh fuck, that's so funny. Hi Blaze. I'm a huge fan. For those who don't know, a little sidebar before we go back into everything that like this is happening right now. Me and Blaze are both. Let me just pull this up. Blaze posted this today, which is the fact that me and her get mixed up very often. I've had people come into my chat asking me if I'm Blaze at midnight, or I've like seen art of me on Twitter specifically, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, is that Blaze?" And it's like, "No, it's Yay J-Bay." And so it happened again today for Blaze, and she got called Yay J-Bay. So there's just a running joke now about calling each other's names. Taigi made this phenomenal meme here that Corbin needs to find the difference between these pictures, and they're the same picture because we're getting mixed up all the time. So just to give y'all context as to why that happened. The Blue Queens! What's the collab and we get confused? We've got to. We were talking about, because there are two other black VTubers with blue hair that like get mistaken too, Fitness and Kai, and we just all have to do a group collab where it's just all the people who get mixed up with one another. I need art of y'all swapping fit. That's not a bad idea, Blaze. Wait a minute now. Oh my gosh, Ollie, hi! How's it going? Blaze, we have to do, I'm not gonna lie, if we do an outfit swap, we're so cooked. That's the same thing. Somebody in the comments was talking about, we should like switch models for a day to like confuse our fans. Good God, we're never hearing the end of this. But an outfit swap. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. Hey Foxy, welcome in. I gotta write that down. Same thing, different fonts. Suggested that as oh my Blaze. I was literally thinking about, I don't know how I can like top my April Fool's joke from last year. That's it. We swap fits. We swap fits for the day. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. Thank you. That's genius. That is genius. Yeah, we do a stream together where we're both on the screen, but our voices are coming out of the other person's models. We switch the model. Oh, thank you, Johnny. That's genius. That is genius. Okay, all right. Let me go back. Let me get back to the drama. Write that down. Little sidebar. But I gotta get back through this document because we've got a lot to cover here. Y'all, please go follow Blaze at Midnight. Love her so much. She's fantastic. We'll forever just get mixed up for one another. It is what it is. So we're just in the beginning of this right now. This is a doc Adora put out in response to Radius doc against Adora. So this is one of the screenshots talking about Forever One Entity. This is one of the screenshots where Radius kind of complaining about how streaming isn't worth it for her financially. And we don't know who this is, but they respond to like her saying it's not worth putting herself out there for 4 hours emotionally or fiscally. They respond back saying, I am always 100% of the belief that it's not worth to push through and burn out. Long run, it hurts you and your content more. So there's that. Labeling these docs is going to be a nightmare. Oh, yeah. Where someone used you as a reference for info on a video essay on the Adora drama. No way! Wait, Scully, what? Wait, can you, they had a clip of me talking with, who? I'm so curious. Oh my gosh, do you know who it was? That's insane. Listen, can you drop it? I do have links banned or like blocked in chat, but if you could, okay, the video show you the timestamp. Yeah, if you're in the Discord, drop it in one of my channels. They're like the drama channel, the yapping channel. Drop it in there because I do have links blocked in my like actual Twitch chat. So I want to see that. I do want to see that. Thank you, Risky. Thank you. Okay, so going back into this while I be a little geeked up about that. So below is her mentioning streaming isn't worth it if she only makes $50 a stream. This was an issue we had to deal with, and when I had to talk her down multiple times, often in voice. However, this time it was in text, so I was able to share it. And this is just Radius saying, yeah. Or you could whisper it to any of the mods, whichever one you're more comfortable.
If Risky wants to send it to me.
Yeah, whichever you're more comfortable with. Oh, hey, Mero! We're going over the response right now. So this is Radius saying, she says here, it isn't worth it for the net gain of maybe $50 a stream. It really isn't, and cost is unfortunately a big factor in if I do this or not, because if it doesn't generate enough, I can't justify the excess electricity or energy, even if it's something I enjoy. The physical issues also just impede my abilities, where I cannot do what I used to with ease even 6 months ago. And so this is Adora responding, gamer streams aren't a consistent guaranteed income. Like, you enjoy doing it and hundreds of people show up. If you keep this mentality, you'll keep making less because it shows an air of ungratitude. And this is Radius saying she can't go to Anime North. And Adora says, hope you're okay. Trust we understand since your health is a fucking nightmare to navigate with the U.S. healthcare. And Radio responds to the gamer streams that Adora's talking about here. She says, I just have to evaluate it based on time put in and when I get out of it. If I could just do it without a weight over my head, I would. Oh boy, the part 2. Yep. Hi, Nova. And so Adora says to hit go live and stream and yap for 3 to 4 hours. You don't need to edit yourself or do extensive promo. You already have a well-sized viewer base that brings in more than I made as a civil engineer. It's just a low period. And Rady responds to that saying, but having more things on my shoulder makes that incredibly difficult. Which Dora says, you'll be fine. I get from an emotional standpoint because the health stuff really does suck, but I don't make $50 a stream right now. It isn't a valid reason. Stream income is random and highly varied and part of the business. Which Fenari chimes in here and says, I completely understand needing to take time away due to health concerns or stress, especially due to the test thing, and emotionally taking time would be good. But money being a deciding factor on whether or not to stream just makes you so much more stressed, and to me isn't a healthy mindset, especially because I know how much you love streaming. Radio responds saying it's more of a trade-off. Do I benefit more from the hours there or more from other work/efforts? I'm essentially forced to evaluate it that way currently. Is it worth the mental boost if I physically hurt after? To which, golly, this is, okay, it's a lot of screenshots. Adora is saying here that she, like, Rady is the largest in there. Oh, Cloud, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Adora saying here, Radia, you're, like, literally the largest streamer in the group and one of the biggest I'm with. I wish I could say I'd feel embarrassed over 400 viewers and near civil engineering income. It's not embarrassing. Your healthcare is suffering because of the American system failing you, which that does suck. And your day job being psychopath is a valid thing to feel awful for. Your day job won't pay you more. What are you going to do do with that time that's more productive? You really should not value income does not equal self-worth and success as a streamer. Which this right here, like, what's going on in these conversations right now is basically the root of a lot of the problems I feel personally after listening to the documents or listening to the recordings that are in this document, especially. Star, don't piss me off. We had a whole moment earlier. Listening to the audio recordings that we'll get to later, this is a heavy pinpoint that's like, I feel like the devolving factor of this friendship is Radia equating her self-worth to her income and everybody else trying to get her to stop doing that. Because at the end of the day, all of them are, what it boils down to, which I'll get into later, is all of them are worried about getting canceled because of Radia. Which is something I also picked up from the recording, but let me just continue going through this. And whenever we get to, like, those recordings, I can give y'all those summaries there. So this is just them going back and forth about, like, the streaming thing, you know, whether it's worth it or not. Radia saying she has limited energy and time pool. So she's finding herself struggling to provide quality content even on a good day. Adora says, I have zero reason to lie to you on this. You're already providing quality content with what you do. Stop comparing yourself to others and just look at the numbers and how they are. Like, just, like, stop it, basically. Fenari jumps in again, saying that, like, chatter, subs, it all just fluctuates so wildly in the space. Like, you just don't know how it's going to be. Sometimes you'll get a chatter that's like super kind or whatnot, and people don't always show up for certain types of content, but, like, people genuinely like you as you are, high energy content or low. And Adora's saying your CCV is literally the highest it's ever been. Radia's responding that she's just really distraught over the medical issues, which Adora says that's fair and super valid, and you can be, like, it's okay to be that, but don't end productive things you enjoy when you're not in an emotionally bad headspace from your health and day job, is what Adora's, like, emphasizing here. And so, Radia's saying that she wants to, she just randomly can't. She's not comfortably, and that doesn't make good content because then she's distracted. Adora's again saying, like, it's okay, I get it, but, like, you can do some things. Like, you can often play or at least talk. It's good to save her when you can. And Radia just says that, like, she doesn't feel like she has a handle on it at all, which is actively distressing, especially in front of people. It's made me afraid to stream honestly, if I'll be, like, actually frank. Everything is secondary, but far easier to bring up than the fact that I don't feel I can actively participate in something I enjoy. So that's just screenshots showing that conversation happening, basically. So Adora continues in her document, saying, Radia knew my finances as well as Fenari's and Palm's. I'd only recently as of the end of last year, finally made enough money to feel comfortable to no longer need SNAP benefits, which is food stamps in America for those who don't know, to work as a creator full-time as I pursued my career in content. We had genuinely been worried about her lack of gratitude towards her community, and this is important as it leads up to the intervention and why we did it. And so before Anime North, during our Project STEM announcement, Radia had used the event for all four of us to promote her Off-Kai Throne gift to raise $2,000 so she could attend with us. She did not talk to us about this beforehand, and then began to say that she had wanted all of us to go and attend Off-Kai as Project STEM. This was never a plan, as we were not invited guests to Off-Kai as Project STEM, as we had just announced our group. Myself and Palm had planned to go together, and Palm offered an affordable room for me months prior due to my income, and Finari had her own plans with her friends, as well as unrelated to mine and Palm's. We were attending as ourselves, and Radia had never told us originally she had interest in going until around a month or so before we announced Project STEM. Door disappeared off the face of the earth. Yeah. I kind of get both sides. Radia being worried makes sense because it's always nice to be financially secure while doing something you love. That being said, there is such thing as an unhealthy attachment. Yes, and we're gonna get more into this. We're getting all the background information, which like is a lot of this information is what was missing, because whenever I went over Radia's document, I did say that like while Adora is very clearly not a good person in this, Radia is also not innocent in this, but there are things that we're missing because this document was from Radia, and it was from the other, like, friends of Radia that helped her write this document. And so with Adora's, we get more context. Adora's still bad for the things that she did, but it is a very messy situation. So continuing on with the doc here, Adora continues by saying, during Anime North, while all four of us were staying together in a hotel room, a situation arose after dinner at a steakhouse. While myself and Finari were sleeping, Palm had noticed Radia had gone live while in the bathroom. Confused, Palm realized Digital Vagrant had gone live on Radia's channel. Now, while we didn't know Radia had planned for her boyfriend to go live, and there's nothing wrong with that, however, she also proceeded to never tell us about this. During this stream, Radia had been in her own chat and began to speak on having food poisoning. Radia had claimed on her stream from her chat logs that myself, Finari, and Palm implied that she had wanted Chinese food when she never had. Before we had left for the steakhouse after that day, we asked if anyone had any dietary restrictions, as we were open to go anywhere, as well as we were fine with anywhere. She did not object, and as well during the stream, she then spoke on saying she had food poisoning to her community while in our room. Her community proceeded to donate thousands of dollars generously to her. This is important for context for later. She never told us of this food poisoning, and during this time we were incredibly confused as community members had spoken to us showing concern when she had never told us anything while we were there with her in person. The next day after I woke up, I drove her to the aquarium so she could swim with the stingrays for an experience by herself. She then ate a breakfast sandwich and then later frozen yogurt in front of me, having no idea she had been sick the prior night. Adora's bad, but not the devil. I don't know about that. I have to read more through this and kind of really think about it. She has very bad behaviors and tendencies. But you know what, you're right, but she's not the devil. She's not the devil. I'll give you that. Oh no, not the steakhouse. Happens when two chaotic neutral power bottoms fight. What? But it's so fast. Oh, okay. I still want to see it though. I'll look at that. I'll look at that later. Terrible habit. Yes. Can I get a little context of what's happening? This is the first I'm hearing any of this drama. Well, this is a response document to Radia, who put out a document against Adora. Well, Radia basically said Adora did like all these bad things, isolated her, slandered her name, forced her to like take an indefinite break from content creation, and this caused like all of these problems to Radia, mental anguish, financial ruin from she like missed out on some financial stuff for like school, did attempt to take her own life from that. It's very messy. It's very, very messy. And the way Radia's document is set up and written, and it even has these points in it where it has these like screenshot analyses where it's saying, though, this is coercive control, and here are examples of that. These I feel like were very unnecessary in Radia's initial document. the document is definitely written to make Adora just completely a villain. So this is Adora's response to the document. I will say Adora, like, did do very bad things, but Radia has also done bad things. And so that's what we're really getting into here. When you're done, can you explain it in Pokemon terms? I can't. I have no idea. I have no idea how I can explain this in Pokemon terms. I can't. Babe, if you want to go for it, absolutely. Also, Empress, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Oh, ad break is coming in about a minute and a half. I will pause going through this document when the ads run. So it's sad. It's this whole situation is a falling out between friends that I don't think actually needed to be put out to the world like this, but that's what it is. My go-go. Okay, so then we get into, yeah, it's a very messy situation between friends. Two bad bitches derogatory get into a fight to the end point finger. Yeah. Adora says here, the evening of Sunday while we were in the room, I was booking my flight to Offkai. I made a comment of being sad that my flight prices had increased by $150 since I waited until after Anime North to book it, and that it sucked and I needed to tap into my savings in order to make up the difference because I waited too long. Radia then responded to me by saying, oh, I should book my hotel room, I guess, angrily, while then proceeding to book herself a suite while complaining she did not have the money. She then went, I guess I might as well upgrade the suite as it says it'll only be $50 more. I responded with a night or the whole stay, being confused as, at this point, I don't know why she had been I did not know she had been generously donated thousands of dollars the night prior, and was confused why she was spending more that she didn't have. She responded with, no, the entire stay. I dropped the subject after that, confused. This is going to come back up too. We're about to get in the ad, so I'm going to rant on it a little bit while the ads are going on, just so I'm not, like, going over the document. But the, like, synopsis of what's going on here is a lot of, personally, I feel like pocket watching by Adora, Finn, and Palm, primarily Adora. I feel like Adora is constantly pocket watching Radia, which I don't know, to each their own, I guess, but I feel like that's like an underlying issue within this like friend group and like what's happening here to devolve everything into what we've gotten to now with these docs coming out. I think that's like one of the big issues is Adora's pocket watching. You see, Team Rocket and Team Platinum tried to work together, ended up screwing each other up and now on Pokemon TV, trying to point fingers on who is actual evil team. Oh my gosh. I think it's more than a fallout because Adora's being manipulative and backed Radia into a corner. Well, Radia also had very problematic behaviors herself and things that she was doing, which brought up like the whole intervention call that happens. And while I don't agree with the way that they've gone about all of these things. It didn't happen for no reason. Whole Stitch Kami absolutely rocked in the worst way. Yeah. Oh, Jesse and James are jealous of another Team Rocket member who we will call John because they are stacking paper too high from stealing so many Pokemon successfully. And so they start talking shit to them and telling them that they need to take time off because they are getting too evil. So John drops a Google Doc talking shit about Jesse and James, calling them meme and bums. Now it's a whole damn mess and Officer Jake is on they ass. Yo, way to go, babe. Honestly, impressive. Genuinely impressive there. Yeah, both parties are not in the right. Like, Radia does several things that... My God, that's even better. Radia does several things that are very, like, problematic. Like, one of the things that gets brought up a lot later on is Radia's lying and her ungratefulness. And I feel that Radia is very... She just seems spoiled and ungrateful. Damn, I know, it's genuinely impressive. They're not wrong when they say she's ungrateful about, like, some of the things, like, the finances and, being in her like, place of privilege that she does have, because she does have a full-time job. She has, like, her own house where she's even at the point where she is financially supporting a second person and then also getting stream money on top of that. that, like, them complaining about her being ungrateful is not wrong whatsoever. But they're also getting to the point where they start pocket watching her, and like with this Saturday stream that happens is them saying like, well, you just made several $1,000s off of this stream, and then you're complaining about money things, which, like, where Radia does have a lot of financial burdens because she is supporting somebody else, and, you know, she does have her medical issues as well that she's having to pay into there. So while she is getting in more money than the rest of Project STEM, for example, like, they're not really respecting, from my perspective, they're not respecting the fact that she does still have additional costs and things that she has to pay into, which is why I feel like they are pocket, like, that's where the pocket watching really comes into. You think having kids makes dumbasses less dumb? I got bad news for you, Gamma. This stops when you have kids. It's fun. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Welcome back from the ads. Welcome back. Just a little ranting. Also, hey, King Steven, welcome in. How's it going? I'll go ahead and continue into reading this. So, Adora continues here by saying, I had to save as well as ask for donations for my own community to go, as well as make plans with Palm to save to make Offkai possible. So it's hurtful to hear her complain about booking a nice room she could afford while I was dealing with my own financial issues. And this I feel like also kind of summarizes. It seems that Adora seems jealous of Radia's financials, and that's the pocket watching. Is Adora doesn't have the finances that Radia does have, even though Radia is having to spend these finances on other things. Radia's making more money, and it seems that Adora has some internalized jealousy and anger towards the fact that Radia is making so much money and then still complains about not having enough money. So, here's so much better. Thank you. Even if you're making good money, it can be very anxiety-inducing to be financially responsible for a household plus healthcare. Yes, exactly. The kids get dragged into this mess unintentionally, but that doesn't make it less ass for the kids. Oh yeah, if there were kids involved, then, like, we'd still be in this situation. Adora was just jealous of her. So let me continue on, because I really want to get into the call. So I can like try to give y'all my summarized version of that call. So after all of this happened and realizing a lot of the actions were not adding up from Radia, there was no luring because we wanted to talk to her as concerned friends and as soon as possible so we could figure out what was going on. Myself, Palm, and Finn decided we needed to talk to her about these issues as soon as possible. The altered document was in fact the original list we used in reference to talk to her about things during the intervention because we were worried about her. Adora, Palm, and Finn all wrote in this document together because we wanted to make sure before we talked to Radia. Many of these points come up in the intervention, as you will hear in the recording below. However, the document was not meant to be ever sent to anyone, which is ultimately my fault, because we wanted to keep communication lines open. And after the intervention, I asked Finn to send a bullet point list of what the intervention covered, since we wanted to make sure Radia's local support network was involved. In my Russian stupidity, I instead tried to edit down the intervention list we wrote together and did this poorly and without Finn or Palm's approval. The list had points written rather poorly. While the three of us were hurt, it should have never been shared after the intervention was done. This was not done in malice. It was done in my stupidity and me trying to help make things better because I, at this point, still wanted to fix my friendship with Radia and was being lazy. I genuinely regret making the situation worse in this regard when all I wanted to do was try and communicate but failed to do so, causing stress for everyone involved on my side. And then ultimately, myself, Palm, and Finn were hurt by Radia at this point, and then below is the recording of this intervention. And so, she puts here an important point for the call. The first 20 minutes of the call is in regards to the event that was the final straw, thus giving her the benefit of the doubt. I would ask the reader and listener to keep this in context, as it was the most recent event and fresh in everyone's memories, leading us circling back to other more important events that lead to the confrontation further in the call. And so, okay, I'll go through the timestamps here, and then I'll give y'all my summarized version of this call. So, up until this point, we led with emotion because of our hurt. where it was then brought back and Radia coming off as alluding to the fact that Finn, Palm, and myself were not looking out for Radia at the convention, despite asking everyone, including her, what they wanted to eat and keeping her dietary restrictions in mind. Then Radia discusses the rare steak, and Finn asks about it in relation to our feelings on Radia, not thinking we cared about her. And then at this point is when the missions mention issues with Radia not reaching out to creators for Anime North meet and greets, as well as lying to us over doing this. And then below is a screenshot in reference to her saying that she'd done something when she had never reached out. Afterwards, we confront her on the lies related to the food poisoning in the hotel room. Then they discuss where Radia made poor comments, and they don't have the clip. And then Finn tells Radia she should take a break, as well as Palm and Odora agreeing. So, in this intervention call, which I will, just open up the Google, Drive, here, and kind of, show y'all that I think the call is about... the call is an hour and 10 minutes. It's an hour and 10 minute audio clip. And what's happening in this call is I understand why Radia says that they ambush her, because it does feel like an ambush in the way that they begin the conversation. Because it begins with, was not supposed to be shared. Yeah, you recorded the whole thing for this document. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But it starts with them, coming at Radia. And I think it's primarily Palm and Odora speaking. I think, for the most of it, it's Palm kind of leading this. Which I believe it's Palm. It's either Palm... It's definitely Palm. And she starts off by, kind of pressing her, she's like, so, there was a stream on Saturday? And Radia's like, yeah. And she was like... And you talked about the fact that you had food poisoning in that stream, and you kept mentioning that you had food poisoning to your community, but we didn't know that you had food poisoning. You just said that you were in the bathroom, and that the next day, you were totally fine. Why were you stressing to your community that you had food poisoning? People were donating to you because they thought you had food poisoning. And Radia's, which, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if Radia is telling the truth here, but Radia is explaining to them that she thought she had food poisoning because, she had the shits and her stomach was hurting. And so that's why she said that she had food poisoning. And Palm and Odora are, just pressing her on this of, why didn't you tell us that you had food poisoning? Why wouldn't you, bring this up at all? Why didn't you bring up the stream? You made multiple thousands of dollars on this stream and you didn't tell anybody. And now we have community members coming to us, asking us how you're doing. And we didn't even know that you weren't doing well because these people are saying that you have food poisoning and all this, that, and the other. It's so overly aggressive. And, I know they're saying they're speaking from hurt because obviously, everything is adding up, or everything is piling up, I guess, in their minds of this, but it just seems so unnecessary the way that they're pressing her on this. And it also doesn't seem very insane for Radia to think that she had food poisoning or anything, because she said she had a red steak, she had a raw steak, and she normally eats pink steaks. But it was red, and she was like, I felt fine until I had that steak, so I thought I got sick from the steak. I thought it was food poisoning, but I guess not. And they're just implying that she's lying about that. And they're like, you're in your chat talking about how you're on the floor in pain right now because you have so much food poison, or because you have food poisoning or whatever. And you didn't tell any of us this, and we watched you, the following day after that. You went and had a Tim Hortons breakfast sandwich at 11 a.m., which, if you had food poisoning, it doesn't clear in 12 hours, and it hadn't been 12 hours. It was so ridiculous to kind of hear them genuinely pressing this woman on something that seemed so minor, in my opinion. I understand their upsetness about, because Radia does say, at some point, she's like, yeah, I wanted Chinese food, but we ended up not going there, and kind of implying that if they would have had Chinese food, she probably wouldn't be having food poisoning. So I can understand their upsetment on that a little bit, the smallest bit, but outside of that, and I can understand them being upset that they didn't know because they had community members coming up to them asking if Radia was okay. And they were like, I didn't know Radia was sick. But outside of that, again, it was such a like minor thing for them to be pressing her as hard as they were, in my mind, in my opinion. Also, hi Nocturne. I'm so sorry. I was ranting, so I didn't get to say hi to you. You need something and get the shits, which is Russ, but yeah, bowel investigation, I mean, what they were doing. Yeah, like it was so excessive. And so like that's how the call starts. And I wonder if I can play like a part of it so y'all can just hear how obsessive it is, or how like aggressive it is.
I just want to know.
Hold on. I want to like try to skip to a part.
You came back to the room after going to the jacuzzi. Everyone was asleep except me.
And I didn't feel too Gucci.
Yeah, that's Radius saying she doesn't feel Gucci.
It was good. And then you went to the bathroom, and then
and this is Palm speaking right now.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. And it was obviously a takeover stream, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I thought, like, it's not a big deal to do something like that. Like, he's your partner. Of course, he's gonna like take over for you and do something for you. Like, that's great for him to do that. But it felt like it was done very quietly, and then no mention of it happened the next day at all. And all I woke up, because I went to sleep in the middle of that, right? I think I messaged Radio, you're streaming? ? And you saw that. And then I passed out.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't like getting into anything right now.
And you got up, left the room before I did, eating that day. That doesn't sound like food poisoning to me. Like,
they're like, this is them pressing her about, like, they're basically upset that she said she had food poisoning, and they're mad about that because they're saying that her community specifically donated to her because they were concerned about her having food poisoning, because Radia does have stomach issues in general. And so I understand their upsetness about that. I feel like the degree that it was blown up to was unnecessary. Feel a bit weird that your friend didn't tell you they're possible food poisoning, but like, just ask what's going on. Exactly. Just ask what's going on. It's not a big deal, but they made it a huge deal. And then from that is whenever they start going into like other issues that they're having. And that's whenever they're like pressing Radio on like, you said that you reached out to these creators about Anime North, but did you ever? And Radio says that like, She's like, oh my god, like, I never clicked the send button. I typed this message, but I didn't click send. Do we have the clip on how she worded it? Like, did she tell her chat 100%, or did she bring it up saying that she might? We don't have clips of it, but they're saying in there that, like, she is telling her chat that she does have food poisoning, which, again, I don't feel like at the time is like unreasonable for Radia. She had eaten a steak that was not cooked enough. Like, she ate a steak that was red whenever she's normally has a pink steak. And then she had stomach problems after eating that, and was like, she had diarrhea. Like, she was shitting her guts out. And so I don't feel like it's unreasonable for her to think that she had food poisoning. Rhea clarified that the money was way before she'd even mentioned the food poisoning. Specifically, the hype train was going up before. That, too, is that I don't know if that's true because it is coming from Radia, but she is saying that, like, that wasn't even brought up until after the, like, donations were already coming in. I think they absolutely blew it out of proportion. Food. Oh, I'm so sorry for the food poisoning. I didn't know that was a trigger. I'll be so honest. I don't know if you're bullshitting me either or not. I genuinely, if it is, I did not know. But that's how the call starts, is like them pressing her about that, and then they start pressing her about I'm a chef, I truly don't care. Listen, I don't know all the triggers. I don't know all people's triggers and what things I have to put a trigger warning for. I know the basics, but I don't know anything past that. But that's how it starts, and then they go into the Anime North thing, and Radia's like, I'm sorry, I've just been so busy. I thought I hit the send button on this message, but I typed it and I didn't. And it seems like basically this one, I understand why they are upset about it. I feel like it's blown out of proportion, their upsetness, because Radia specifically did not reach out as much as she should have for these creators to come to Anime North, which was like on them specifically. That was something she was supposed to do. And Palm is even saying, like, I understand if you're busy and like you have a lot going on, let me know so I can like fill the gaps that you might have of not reaching out to these creators. So they're pressing her about that, and they're basically like, with the whole food poisoning thing and then the Anime North thing, they're talking about how Radia seems to be like a pathological or a compulsive liar. Like that she lies constantly about things. And that's like the implications that they're making, is that you keep lying. How are we supposed to trust you if you keep lying to us? And then they bring up the thing with Alicia's community member talking about whenever like, Radia was like in their Project STEM debut stream, and like a community member said that they couldn't donate because they had like given their money to their rat queen or whatever. Radia responded very negatively to that by saying like, oh, do you think I care? Or am I supposed to feel sorry for you about that? Which that rubbed them the wrong way. And this is where we start to get into like what a big concern I feel like they don't bring up much in this call, but I think they bring it up in a second call, is that they're worried that Radia's ungratefulness is going to get them canceled. That's what I genuinely feel like it really boiled down to, was that they whenever it comes to not the lying part, or not the first part, but the second part about her ungratefulness, they're worried about getting canceled. Because they're like, Radia, whenever you make these comments about people like not donating to you enough or whatnot, it's the same thing about those streamers, those like IRL streamers, that whenever they're like, oh, it's only $5, like you should sub to me because it's only $5, you sound ungrateful and you're going to get in trouble for that. Like that's going to be your downfall, is what they're trying to like warn her about. And that's whenever they start getting into the like, you need to take a break from content creation because you have a very unhealthy connection with it right now, in the fact that you're so ungrateful. So that's where like Radia or Adora starts really pushing you need to stop making content, like you need to take a break from content creation, is because they're all worried about getting canceled because of her shit. They're worried about getting canceled because of her ungratefulness, and they want her to take a step back so they don't have to worry about that, and she can reevaluate what she's doing. We showed you it's bad we weren't making money, but let's someone know. Yes, exactly. Yes, I am covering her response. And so that's really what the intervention call is. That's like what that whole hour and 10-minute call is like them just telling Radia like, you're lying too much. At some point Adora's like, yeah, I talked to my mom, and all the lies that I was telling her about this, and my dad was a pathological liar, and I told my mom about this, and she said this sounds exactly like my dad. And even though they were able to mend the relationship, and like they're better now, we can be better now, but like you need to stop lying. I'm like, this it was so dramatic. Like it was so dramatic. And again, I get it. This is like a personal conversation between a friend group. This really wasn't supposed to be public like it is. But like it's just so dramatic. It makes me feel so icky listening to it, because like it's a lot of pocket watching. It's a lot of assumptions. It's just a lot. It's a lot. It's so much that really wasn't supposed to be for the public. It wasn't supposed to be for the public. And so that's like, I feel like a good summary of the intervention call. Again, if you want to listen to it yourself, you can. It is in this document. They talk about her ungratefulness about the hotel thing, and like her, like Radia's comments are a problem. Like her saying, oh, it's only $50 more to like upgrade this, and oh, I don't have enough money, even though like she did get donated thousands of dollars the previous stream. Like the comments that she's making in relation to content creation are problematic. I understand why they got to this point. I think it was just done in the worst way possible. It's kind of how I feel about it. Oh, you're at Waffle House? Can I get, just give me like 2 waffles, to be honest. That's fine. And so, going back into the document, Adora says here, many of the issues in the issues document can be heard here, which is correct. They were like, in the end, they were worried about their friend's behavior. This call is incredibly personal, but unfortunately with the narrative Radia has presented on the call that made and made it public. I want the world to hear what actually happened. Once again, I was not even the person to initially suggest her to take a break. Finn was the one in the intervention to bring it up around that time point. Myself and Palm both agreed as well, however, with Finn. And then during the call, we speak on all the issues. They say we were incredibly hurt in this call and worried that our friend was not telling us everything. We would have never suggested a break if she told us she couldn't afford to take one. In the call, she claims it was not about finances, but embarrassment to take a break. If she needed the income from streaming, we would have either offered alternatives such as a throne goal or told her it's fine to keep streaming. I have been living paycheck to paycheck. Why would I want my best friend to financially suffer? As well, we unfortunately had to deal with the small lies and her claiming she had reached out to other creators for meet and greets. Names unfortunately cannot be censored here. Radia claims she reached out to Juniper, but in the call she stated she forgot to hit the send button and stated that she would poke again, but then proceeded to never do so. So, like, I understand 3 pieces of burnt toast. What the fuck do you mean? This is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. But yeah, like the lying. I understand their concern about it. And, like, the Anime North thing, that's a serious thing for her to be not truthful about, because it was something that, like, was her job to reach out to these people, and she didn't do it. But again, I just feel like they went about addressing all of these things in the worst way possible. Thank you for the Queen's Care package. I feel, no, like, and I think that's what it kind of comes off as, for me, is like the vibe that I really get from them, like I said, is they are worried about getting canceled themselves because of Radia's actions. Like, that's what I feel like it really boils down to whenever they bring up these things, especially the ungratefulness, is they don't want to get canceled because of shit Radia's doing, and they are a group. So there is that concern. Oh, hey, Chip, welcome in. How's it going? Okay, I don't think you should... Okay. I think worrying about themselves is fair. Like, exactly. No, and, like, I don't blame them for it. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like that is a underlying factor of how everything got to where it is their fears of... Like, listen, if whatchamacallit? Because we have, like, the Fang Gang, for example. If somebody in the Fang Gang is doing fuck shit, I would let them know, like, hey, just be careful because you're doing fuck shit right now that could affect all of us. But the way they went about it is my issue, is they went about it in what feels like the worst way possible that got us to this point. It's about that one VTuber drama. Yeah. This is exactly why I'm not allowed in the Fang. Baby, I'm not dealing with you. So, continuing on with this. Every claim she made without any physical evidence is either false or fabricated from limited screenshots. Going to show you the screenshots that matter, which are related to the alleged doxing, as well as the entire conversation I've had with Radia since she redacted important information informing her narrative. As well, I was not the leader or the one pushing this. This was equal hurt from myself, Palm, and Finn. And then they talk about the Offkai situation with Radia misleading on my, Palm, and Finn's behalf that we were trying to attend Offkai as a Project STEM group. This is another thing. I'm just gonna start shit for the loss. Oh my gosh. I don't have an answer as to how to do it better. Aside waiting for her to get home. It was a clumsy intervention. It was like, I don't think an intervention should have happened in general in the way that it did. Because it feels that they were holding on to this stuff to be able to bring it all out against Radia. When, like, I feel like these things individually, like, a conversation on the Saturday stream in general could have happened. A conversation about, hey, why didn't you tell us that you had food poisoning, or why didn't you tell us about this stream? A conversation about that could have happened. Again, I don't know what their, like, friend group is. I don't feel like you have to tell the homies if you're going to stream, and I think they even say that they didn't actually care about the stream. They were only upset about the alleged food poisoning, and they didn't know because they were in her, like, they were with her IRL, and they don't want, which again, this comes back to them being fearful of being canceled. It looks bad for the rest of the group to not know one of their group members was dealing with something whenever that group member has stomach issues. And so that's where their anger came out, was the fact that they found this out from a community member and not Radia herself. that she's going around telling people that she's dealing with this. It all comes back to really looking out for themselves, in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion. Not fact whatsoever, but my opinion is really them looking out for themselves more than anything. And so I feel like just the Saturday stream could have been a conversation. Like, oh, like, I heard you have food poisoning. Like, what's going on with that? I think they're very pressed about the food, like the words food poisoning, because they very much emphasize in the call to, like, you don't get food poisoning in just 12 hours. And food poisoning is a really serious thing. And, like, there are varying degrees of food poisoning. First of all, it's not, you can have light to, like, very, like, serious food poisoning. Was Radio wrong for just self-diagnosing it's food poisoning? I don't know. I don't think it really matters that much. But I think Radio should have told them that she wasn't feeling good, that she had a tummy ache, especially because she does have underlying stomach issues, so her friends would be aware of that. And so I understand their upsetness about not knowing that, but I feel it was blown out of proportion. I think you could self-diagnose food poisoning. Get a deed term from the runs to the hospital. Yes, exactly. I had to bark at a family for not saying shit and trying to wait it out. But, like, that's the thing, is, like, she did wait it out. And she was fine the next day. Should she, and again, they even bring up in the call, they're like, they're like, how would you feel about telling your community now that you actually didn't have food poisoning? And Radio's like, yeah, I could tell them that. Because in the moment, it's not crazy to think that. And while she is already, like I've said, she does have underlying stomach issues. I also understand not wanting to wait it out. And like, yes, that's bad. That is bad. She shouldn't have done that. She should have let them know. I'm not excusing her behavior. I'm saying that they blew it out of proportion, in my opinion, to what it really was. And that's why, especially with her being fine the next day, should Radio have gone back to her community and told them, like, oh my God, I'm feeling so much better. It looks like it was just like a bad like batch, but all right, like it wasn't anything serious. Yeah, she should have told them that. And she should have also told her friend group that she's literally actively with at the time, I was so concerned, I thought I had food poisoning last night, but it turns out everything was fine. That would have resolved the situation, sure. But again, it just seems so blown out of proportion, and that could have been its own conversation. The whole Anime North thing with reaching out to other creators and whatnot, that could have been a conversation in itself. These things could have happened, like, and again, I don't know the timeline, but I feel like yes, exactly, there's a lack of communication that snowballed into the intervention that happened. And so, it just seems like all of these things could have been discussed beforehand or in separate things, but you, as 3 people of a 4-people friend group, basically plotting behind somebody to ambush, and I use the word ambush because Radio does use that ambush word, but you 3 coming together to plot to have this sit-down talk over things that really seem blown out of proportion is a bit much. So I understand the issues that, like, Radia had. Like, I understand the bad things that she did. I listened to Monopoly twice. Hi, Primals. I understand her wrongdoings in this. I do think it was blown out of proportion by her friend group. But again, I don't know everything. I just know the information that's in this document, and I can draw my own conclusions. I don't know these people. I don't know any of them. The only person I remotely know is Palm, and we've maybe had like one conversation. We're just mutuals on Twitter. So I don't have any additional information on that. I'm going based off of what's in this document, which is what most other people who see this are going to go off of. And that's all I'm forming my opinions on. And so yeah, I think Palm's like on vacation or something. Palm was about to go on vacation. They did say they were going to put out a doc whenever they like had the time and were available. I'll go over Palm's doc whenever she does put it out, but I mean, this is really between Radia and Adora, so I don't while there are the other girls of Project STEM, I just don't feel that they are as vital to like having the information as the two people that this is really involved with. And so continuing on in the document though, Adora says, now it's a matter of the DMs claiming I was bullying her or manipulating / abusing her. These are the entire DMs. She asked to listen to the intervention call before. And the portion she cut out was me speaking about my past relationship with my father. Father and I are in great terms now, and I have his permission to post this. And then they're talking about like the Discord, which this is like where she gets into talking about like like Adora saying, Radio, you need to take a longer break. And she says you shouldn't be going on Twitch, like just go spend time and take off work and just enjoy life and recenter all this, that, and the other. This is all like stuff that was basically covered in whatchamacallit, covered in Radia's doc initially. Which like I don't know. I don't think this is that important here. They sent to Radia's brother. Getting into the super shitty part. Oh god. Okay, maybe it is important. Hold on. This all seems like it's the same stuff. Oh, this? No? Oh, okay. Yeah, she says she didn't take a detach from streaming. But, like, she like, it's just, like, them, like, Adora telling Radia stop lying and take a break. And, like, that's what this is. And again, I don't think, like, even whenever I was going over Radia's doc, now that I have the context, I understand why Adora is telling Radia to take a break as to everything that was discussed in the intervention. Do I agree with it? Not really. But I understand where it's coming from now, which is what I was missing out on in Radia's doc. I understand they're trying to look out for their friend. And Radia did not divulge the fact that, like, she needed to financially continue streaming, and they even say, I don't know how true it is, but Adora says she wouldn't have suggested that if she knew that Radia needed it financially. But I feel like that's such a small thing to be debating, I guess. And so this is the part that she removed from, was the post when she told another party that she was upset that Finn visited me. Okay, hold on. Let me see this. So Adora's saying, if you come back quickly, it's over, yada yada. I don't like hearing later that you told others that you were mad Finn came out to me after I was essayed. I don't like hearing that you told Kono I didn't help you enough. I'm not perfect, but I'm genuinely give you my everything. I just don't want you to lie or feel like I'm being lied to. That's all. We can fix it. Oh, okay. I think Radia censored that part in her document. Says you are fan. Oh, and this part too, where Adora's saying like it's gonna be a long road, but this is the start. I want this to work. You're family to me. My dad is still my father after what he did to my family, and he did much worse. I don't like seeing him in you, and you can be like him and change in this regard. And Radia says, I understand what is wrong. I've known for a while and I've been trying, but it's just an endless trudge downhill. Which Adora says, Radia, I want to believe you, but I just can't right now. My goodwill is at its end. I just need to see actions that speak like, please rest, because I don't think you do. And I hope reflection and recentering will let you understand that and have you show gratitude towards those you haven't been. And she says, I'm genuinely hurt right now and sorry it isn't enough. Action is, but I know you can do those actions anyways. That's all I want to speak for now. Go recenter. It's still fresh. Ria's just been talking about how she financially needs to stream. I don't think it makes sense to claim you didn't know. That's fair. That's very fair. That is very fair. That's a solid point you have there. Which I feel like it goes into the pocket watching and them. It seems that Adora doesn't believe that Radia needs this too because, oh, Radia has a full-time job. And so she's already making money because she has a house in like Washington. She has like a house in Seattle, Washington. So she's making enough money. I think is where that mindset comes from of like Adora trying to say that, oh, she didn't actually know that Radia really needed to keep streaming. Also, give me just a second. I have my dinner here, so I'm just going to take a bite of that. Yeah, exactly. Okay, and so, are you going crazy, Nick? You going absolutely going crazy, going stupid there? I know it's a good song. I have a banger playlist here. Told the Finn and okay. So that was that part, and then this is just more of them talking. Radius says, "I'll leave you to your evening. Prepare for tomorrow." It's your toast I ordered for you. Yeah. My burnt toast. The burnt toast is what you're saying. No, I'm eating gumbo incorporated right now. I'm not having a burnt toast dinner. All 3 slices. God damn it. This is just them still talking. Adora saying, like, I view you as a sister, and if you weren't, I wouldn't give you the same talk I gave my dad. Or Adora saying that, Radius saying, I appreciate it. My first instinct was to just walk away from content and everything. But I've not deleted everything, so it's a start. My experience in being a functional person is incredibly limited. I don't know what it is I wanted my existence nor how people want me to engage. And Adora says, like, that's all I like to speak on this for tonight. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Basically telling her just, like, slow down. You know, this is gonna take time. And then this is Adora saying that she needs the like full detox. Like, don't be online anything. You have an unhealthy tie with it. Radius saying that she doesn't have a ton of people IRL. Nim and Digi are also rather busy. And Adora says trade info with folks you care about. It'll ground you, I think. I'll just be texting you from here on out. Radio puts her work phone number. So if she can't be, like, reached, then contact her here. Adora's just saying I want my old friend back. That unprompted of nothing gave support and money when I was sick, not the one worrying about numbers and money for stream. Radius saying I just don't see a place for me right now. This was all in her Radius initial doc, so I'll skip past that. And then as for the money, Adora says, as for the money comment, I was literally in thousands of dollars of debt at the time and struck with COVID with no way to work or pay bills. I never asked for anything from anyone, and Radius at the time was generously gave me money without asking to help me pay for a testing kit as well as treatment as my Medicaid hadn't started yet. To those being angry at me for being kind to her generosity in my moment of need, that's all it was. Finn also at the time, without being asked the same thing, it's not wrong to be grateful for your friend's kindness. I will mention this later as well. Generosity like this has been rare in my life, and it was precious to me at the moment when I was incredibly weak. So that's where she talks about there. And then this is Radius saying that, like, she's thinking about leaving, like she doesn't want to wait around all this, that, and the other. Adora said it like, if I wanted you gone, I wouldn't still be messaging you with this. This is a 47-page document. We are 14 pages in. It's a long one. It is a long one, but I don't think there's a but for that. It's just a long one. But it's long because it has a lot of screenshots, and I'm getting through a lot of these screenshots we've gone over before, so I'm kind of skimming past them. This like these screenshots were included in Radius document already. This is all these yappers. No, for real. Yeah, this is Adora saying that, like, she's not trying to punish her. She just wants her to get better. She just wants her to take accountability and then apologize and do it less. And then that was like her last message for the day. She says, hope the aquarium's nice, yada yada. They're just, yeah, at least it's not 90 plus pages. That one was a motherfucker to get through. This is just like them having like casual conversation. It really seems. I don't think anything in here is important. I skimmed the document before. This is just like them. That's the thing, is like all of this is really like personal stuff, and like it is like a discussion between friends that should not have been publicized. Oh yeah, I saw Arizona might be raising their prices. It's very unfortunate. I don't drink the tea, so I don't really care that much. So this is them going through, she like is sending photos or whatever. More stuff. There's nothing important here. Like all of this is like just the same shit. Radio talking about going to a counselor. I know this is to combat Adora was harassing Radia claims, maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, like, this is just them having, like, casual conversation. Radia saying she'll be more lively tomorrow. Palm's been having a pretty rough week, is what Adora says here. Just respiratory issues. And then, here's a big block of text, so I feel like I could read this. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, a pause on this since everybody's really pressed about this. Yes, Arizona iced tea is... They said they are considering raising their price past 99 cents because of the tariffs on imports for aluminum. So, for the cans. It's not confirmed yet. It is in discussion right now. Yes, the fucking tariffs. I'm sorry for all my Arizona tea drinkers in chat right now. Absolutely going through it. I'm sorry, y'all. So I'm taking a bite of my food right now. My bitch is hungry. Okay. And then, this is, okay, she's saying something. She says, I also want this addressed and not pushed off into a corner until an improper decision are again made to perform a ham-fisted intervention, which, who cares about these dogs? This is fun. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm mad just like y'all. I don't drink it, but I'm mad. DC is right there. Who said that? Hey. FBI, it's a joke. We're just fucking around. We're just fucking around. Don't worry about it. Okay, going back into the doc. Adora says here, I will say, I don't really like the words you're using here in regards to that, especially when it was literally us communicating our feelings towards you as a friend. It wasn't really that large of a deal, and mostly us coming to you as a friend to talk about issues. I don't know why you're blowing this up in terms of ham-fisted intervention, when we literally just wanted to tell you what was bothering us. Like, if you don't want to be communicated with as I would any friend I care about, which, reminder, we did this before with Marina back in the day, regards to her bodying resulting in her self in, related to herself in Finzi. I don't really know what you wanted here. I've talked to you one-on-one in the past before. I was really just going to talk to you about the smaller stuff, but then unfortunately Palm and Finn also wanted to talk as well when we pieced stuff together. Excuse me. In the end, I will say from my end, I'm just tired. I think I've put a bit too much of myself into the friendship, and it's not fair for me to expect you to return the same energy given. I genuinely can't deal with the spirals over what in the end was just feelings of wishing for a bit more grateful towards loved ones as a main one, and just worrisome behavior and content stuff, because I do genuinely care about you. That's all. At least on my end. We're chilling. Our friendship is probably in a different place right now. Just know I don't hate you. I don't even dislike you. I still care about you. I just sort of need a break. And by break, I mean a break from us putting content as a part of our friendship. I don't want to stop being your friend. You're gonna get, yeah, no, for real. Y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill with that. Wait, where is that? Hold on. I gotta fucking delete that shit. I too like Luigi's Mansion. Yes, thank you. Be more fucking discreet. God damn. And then Radia's responding to this saying, I have every right to express displeasure in how I was handled in regards to this, and for the lack of consideration for the people who will be left to assist in triaging things. I have taken responsibility for things done wrong, but there are critical parts of the narrative that are wholly incorrect. I will openly listen to a critique, but it is not a discussion in an accusatory 3v1. At various points, there could have been cordial discussion to remediate issues at hand or investigate why these things were occurring rather than that was decided upon. I continually felt disregarded, and I do express gratitude, perhaps more subtle in nature, but I do express it. I'm not being avoid of a lack of consideration or gratitude. There's never a point in which I find value in making a spectacle of it. So that's why what I offered to Nim was from the moment they lived here is incredibly private. So this is where, like, they're getting back into, actually happy about Luigi's Mansion. She's getting back into, like, the discussion, and this is where I do agree with Radia, that, like, there were parts of the narrative that, like from her perspective were incorrect. But it, like, that call did come off as an accusatory 3v1. So that's Adora saying here, like, she's saying that it wasn't that large of a deal and it was coming to you as a friend to talk about issues. I don't agree with this. As somebody who listened to the call, I really don't agree with this at all. I think it was handled poorly, and I think Radia's understandably upset that it was handled poorly. But Adora continues here by saying, like, I don't think I can say anything that's going to be productive because I don't think you fully understand my issues. And that's fine. So I'm going back to the earlier point that I'd like to take a break. And Radia says, I understand your issues and I've been reflecting on them. It's why I've not approached you for any conversation until Palm asked for my availability. And I do not find that expressing what is mild displeasure at most over how I was confronted in any way wrong. However, there's a critical disconnect. And this is not just a blank, has done everything wrong issue. Whether anyone else wants to acknowledge that is beyond the point. I know it won't mean anything from me because this isn't about listening to me. This is about some sort of perceived atonement. We can have a discussion with everyone available because this won't be resolved otherwise. I've tried to have a cordial conversation, and you immediately went on the defensive from merely establishing that, despite any wrongdoing perceived or otherwise. I have the right to respectfully express my displeasure with seeing the week of those near me upended without warning. I've even made it so to not occupy spaces you're present in to give you space over the past week, much to my own social detriment and health, but any effort I've made isn't going to be seen as productive or enough. And Adora said, I literally did not ask for you to do that, and I assumed it was really clear when you joined Min server that it didn't matter to me. Brady says it was not. No, I stayed nearly mute the entire time for that reason. This was the first place I'd gone since last week. Oh, Brady's real name is Censor. That's what's going on here. These bitches need to learn how to fight. Yes! Yes! If I can jump by my friends, I'm jumping them back in the GC. Ray's feelings were not considered at the moment because they were mad at her. Yeah, 100%. I think VTubers should just box instead of dropping docs. Then Jake can just stream the fights and commentate. Yes, I think that's a phenomenal idea. I really do. But yeah, they definitely came at her too hot. And Adora is not listening to Radia being upset about that and, like, her issues with it. So that's really what's going on here. She says during these, and I will say another thing, because I think, yes, wait, no. It comes up later. There's a second conversation that happens. Jay, I'm going to fight a VTuber, hire me instead of writing a doc. Yeah. For sure. Fuck, I lost my placement. Hold on. Okay, this is where we're at. Let me get through this, and I'm gonna start going into a host lessons. I've been boxing for 12 years. Hey, we can really get this shit popping. Wait a minute. We're onto something. Let me take another bite of my food. Okay, hold on. Okay, Mayweather. Funny enough, there is a VTuber named Merryweather. I have not heard good things about them, I'll be honest. But it's close. I'm down to attract the whales and problematic VTubers. Jay McDouble make ASMR. Shut the fuck up. No, it's gumbo. It's gumbo and cornbread. I could beat that dog in a fight. Let me at him. Okay, sorry. Getting back into this. I'm gonna start VTubing just to get in the brawl. God damn. Adora continues this by saying that she never wanted Radia to self-isolate from friends. I never asked her to not hang out with her friends. She instead put this on herself. I even state clearly that I told her it didn't matter, and I never told her to do that, which I never did in any previous message. I also told her I was happy to hang out with her on somebody else's server. In the end, I believe this came down to miscommunication, misunderstanding of my words, which, yes, it does. You want your cornbread? I do. I love my cornbread. Fighting Cinder or battle. Oh my god. How fast can you get a doc written about you? Speed run. God. John, I'm not gonna lie. John would have a doc written about him. Like, it would, I can get a doc before 100 stars. Oh, it would, like, your debut stream, immediately afterwards, the doc is dropping. I think immediately after your debut stream, somebody's dropping a doc. I don't think, I'm not giving you any type of time. Yellow Mirror, you can fake some drama and get one in a day. Oh, to her, but radio is different. I feel Adora actually wasn't thinking about consequences. Yes. Sorry. Let me refocus. Let me re-lock back into this document. We're halfway through it. And there's like 2 other calls that I do want to discuss that happen here. Oh, excuse me. And so this is Radio saying that I'm reminding you I didn't ask you to do that. Either way, that's all I'm responding. And then Adora saying that Radius says we'll find time to speak on this later. And the Radius says no need to urgently respond as you wanted to maintain your break. I'm just leaving this here for you to read at your own pace. If I don't respond quickly, I'm likely resting her outside, not ignoring you. She says I'm sorry if the plot was ever lost between us, particularly in regards to nurturing healthy friendship with you. There is no part of this that made me hate you or feel actual malice ever, just a deep sadness because I do continue to care about you, even if outwardly appears there is a lack of care in these past few months. I will state now I never stopped caring, but I fully know that my own I don't know that word. Unfortunately, timed events and outward expression of anxiety and fear entirely obscured that. My lack of outward gratitude or inappropriate expressions, while direct manifestation of fear and anxiety were not appropriate, nor fair to you or anyone else in my direct proximity. Their intent was not to hurt you. It was poor self-actualization and a maladaptive tendency to actualize myself. I became my fears, not my potential. For that, I am sorry. Take that. Oh my God, Johnny. Good God. Listen, K-Pop Demon Hunter is a damn good movie. No, English only. I'm so sorry. If at least one person doesn't have a psychology degree, I'm about to start saying slurs. I can't speak Spanish. What the hell? What do you mean? Well, hello. No, I can't speak Spanish either. But K-Pop Demon Hunters is pretty good. It's a damn good movie. Hi, Dennis. Welcome in. How's it going? So after this point on 6-3, before the 6-7 message was sent by Radia, I sent this series of messages to Finn and Palm, and we joined together in a call, because of how she was beginning to talk to me in this conversation. We were worried. This clip was then sent to us, and we watched it together from the stream that previous day. This is one of the clips that I do wanted to like, I guess, talk about. You can call me dinner, whatever. Bet. I can do Dennis. Robot slurs approved. I gotta. Oh God. Stay focused. Stay focused. Y'all are losing the fucking plot right now. This starts at 3:56. So let me. Oh, Dennis, thank you so much for the follow. Hold on. Let me. So around here. Oh, it's muted.
Degrade.
Let me pause my music.
The ability for humans to, I think, have meaningful conversation in many ways. And also, there is this kind of decay with relationships in which many things are really transactional.
So
and
right
you see
here.
This in streaming. There are so many things in streaming that are incredibly transactional. You can have people that are really good friends.
So.
However.
I'm tired of looking at.
There's a.
Listen, Barrow, not all of us know the plot, all right?
A lot of times where minor inconveniences can become the end of a friendship. No one wants to take time to actually go through the pain of cultivating a friendship. Or if they do, it is very few people that want to go through the pain of communication. Proper communication, mind you, not just, you know, ham-fisted communication.
Oh, yeah, my time. I have to pause this because that's going. I played these games before! Oh, what are we getting into? VTuber drama. That's what's going on right now. It's a response doc to another doc that was put out about some bitches that honestly just couldn't fucking communicate properly with one another. Is what this all boils down to. Is just these bitches could not manage healthy communication. That's it. They went about, by the time that they do start communicating things, I feel like they do it in the worst way, and it gets obscured, and people takes this one way when it was meant to be another way, this, that, and the other. Basically, in this clip, Radio's talking about, like, VTubing friendships being transactional, and she does not say it. Oh, at some point, hold on.
After you've let, you know, things boil over, I'm talking about proper communication. Not, I think, are willing to cut people off.
Oh.
And you can, you know, things boil over. I'm
I
talking about proper communication. Not everyone's willing to do that.
Oh, no. At some point, because she's not saying, like, who, she says this happens a lot in VTubing, but at some point she says the word ham-fisted, and so that's whenever they say, like, they know that she's talking about us, because, like, Radio used that word earlier to describe the intervention that happened. And they say that this made us worry, because in the end, we did just genuinely care for her, and we're confused as to what was going on. This was a private issue between friends, and so, like, why is she speaking about us on stream? In the following recorded conversation, we realized we no longer wanted to work with her if she was going to talk badly about us publicly like this, and we had said nothing about her publicly during this because she was our friend. And let me pause that again, because an ad break is coming in, like, a minute. Yeah, her voice is nice. There any genuine friendships in this community? I know this. Listen, me and the Fang Gang, that's a genuine friendship right now. We're fucking homies. That's like, I feel shitty saying this because this is on the downfall of another, like, friend group right now. But, like, me and my friends we are locked in because we can fucking communicate to one another. We rarely ever have any, like, disagreements or issues, but the times that we do have an issue, we just tell the other person, like, hey, I didn't like this, or hey, could you not do this? And we're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Sorry it happened. And we keep it pushing because we're fucking adults that can communicate with one another. But, yeah. Real friends, yeah, Tona's in my house right now. The only person of the Fang Gang who's not been to my house before is Taigi. And she will be over here, like, next year. Because we're, like, currently making plans for the Fang Gang, like, attending DreamCon together. But, like, yeah, no, I let these niggas stay in my house for sure. Like, because, again, we're actual friends. Like, if for some reason we all just graduated from VTubing, like, none of us became VTubers anymore, none of us stream, we're still friends. Like, our friendship is not just tied to VTubing. I would still talk to these people very regularly because they are my friends, and, like, I care greatly for them. I love them. They love me, because we're actual friends. Effective communication as adults, yes! I'll flaunt that healthy relationship. Healthy communication, the fuck is a rare fucking skill at this point. I am warming Jay's couch currently. Yes, Tuna is literally just in the other room right now. Like, because we're friends. We're homie. What's a friend? I don't know if you mean that seriously or not. Oh my god, I also, I don't feel like pulling out the desk cam and doing the coin flip, so we're making SiriBot flip this coin. It's tails! There we go. Oh yeah, that's the summary, the explain this in Pokemon terms again. Imagine communicating like adults and being functional friends. Yeah. It's shocking. It's shocking. They're all soft evils and assholes. Yeah, quite literally. Tails never fails. Wait, you guys just communicate? You don't bottle it up and then disappear and then drop out of nowhere a Google Doc? You know? No, we don't. Funny enough, it seems like that's the fucking norm, but no. We just talk to one another, especially right when it happens, or if we need time to, like, think about it because we didn't realize it at the time, we'll just bring it back up after. We can just have open, honest communication veins with one another, and nobody gets butthurt and thinks that, because that's what like, spoiler alert, that's what happens here basically, is from that. And again, I don't agree with how they did it, but they did very much try to stress to Radia that they do care about her, even though they came at her as aggressive as they did, they were telling her that, like, we care about you. We only want the best for you. That's why we're having this conversation. Radia took that as, oh, these niggas hate me and they want me out of their lives forever. Like, no, that's not what they said specifically. That's exactly what they didn't say. And so, like, that ends up being an issue. And, like, it even comes up in this where, like, Adora's saying, like, I never told Radia to self-isolate from friends. Like, she could have still been around friends. Is that Radia just... And I understand how this happens, is that you get into a very negative mindset and you think that people just don't want you to be around anymore because, like, you'd caused these problems for them. I get how it happens, but you also kind of need to be mature about this. And even though they did come at you wrong, they came at you way too aggressive for the things the actions that you did to cause that intervention. They did care about you. And they stressed that very much that they cared about you. And you do have to get out of your feelings and do better. That's something that happens. Excuse me, streamer. Can you explain the drama to me so I can feel like I was here the whole time? Thanks, bro. Yeah, Doodles, no problem. You were here for the last one. Basically, these bitches can't communicate with each other. And we're watching the fallout of the friendship happen live. I say live, but we're watching the fallout of their friendship being in way too intimate of conversations that we shouldn't be hearing are now open to the public, so we're getting to hear that. And that's basically what's going on. I guess communication is a skill tree that gets ignored at this point. Yes. That seems kind of pointless. Yes. This shit could have been an email. I think misguided intentions, a bit of jealousy, miscommunication, no active listening. Yes. Exactly. Y'all are bingo, spot on the money. Thanks, man. I feel really invested now. Can y'all sub to Jay for that one? Thanks, chat. Doodles, I want you to know, I hate that, like, I genuinely hear everything that you type in your voice. I genuinely hear it every time that you send these messages. I hear you saying these things. Oh my god. I forgot I paused my music. Where they messed up. They should have. Yes, this absolutely should have stayed private. This should not have been public at all. 100 hourly-ish switch 2 plug. Oh yeah, thank you, Johnny. Yeah, if y'all want to help me get a switch 2, there's the coffee link. Just a random plug there. Jay, sorry I'm late. How are you? Oh, you're so fine, Kobe. Welcome in. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? I've been slowly eating my dinner on the side while I try to cover this document. I'm gonna have to reheat this shit because it's gotten cold. The Doodles had audio do be real. It does. Also, hi, Cinder. How are you? I'm about to continue yapping about this document. Y'all go follow Mr. Professional Voice Actor Cinder Slash. What's in the gumbo? It's sausage and chicken and shrimp. Get in your butt, twin. You can hear that one too, bro. I mean, private when you can get cloud off from drop. Yeah. That's what it is. Still tired from the plane ride? Well, rest up. Oh, guy! Oh my god! Hello! Welcome in, Raiders! Kai, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. If you don't know who I am, I'm YayJBay, two-form VTuber, covering some cancellation doc, response doc to a cancellation doc, VTuber drama. It's meaningless VTuber drama. But how was your stream? How was art? Also, if you got a raid and run, make sure you are taking care of yourself. Stream's very tiring. But welcome in, Raiders! I'm also eating my dinner right now, so if y'all see me lose tracking and whatnot, it's because I'm munch crunching. Insane Peach, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna finish my dinner after I get through this doc. Whenever I'm like switching to Uma Musume, if we even have time, I'll make time. I want to do some Smart Falcon pulls on stream. But going back into this, I also feel like even though Radia did not say the names for these people that, like, she's explaining have transactional friendships they did conclude that she was talking about them. This understandably so did have them being upset. So they do say after this point that like they all were beginning to question what we knew about our friend. Having gone into business together and having traded our information, we began to question what we knew about her. We then realized, does she have the education background she claimed to have to us? Remember, multiple times she claimed to be a chemical engineer, as well as claimed to Palm and myself that she had 1.5 masters. We no longer trusted her, so we looked her up to check for ourselves. Since we created Project STEM, we gave each other all of our personal information. We learned that she did not have a degree in chemical engineering from an updated resume on LinkedIn as of 2025, nor any masters. At this point, we were devastated. Nothing made sense anymore. We were ready to move on from her being in our group. After being friends with Radio for almost 3 years, it began to put everything into question. I didn't like myself during this time, and I entered a heavy depressive episode as I no longer knew what or who I could trust and began to spiral. Adora alleges that she has audio proof of Radio admitting the clip was about it is in the conversation that happens later. It is in that voice thing. We just haven't come up to it yet. But again, with like this part specifically, and the fact that Radio lied about like her degrees, which was kind of like a big pinpoint of Project STEM, because it was a play off of STEM, STEM, and her not having this degree that she's saying she's had, while the rest of them are like in these like same like fields and like STEM related fields, and that's the whole point of the group. I understand the upsetness about finding out that they were lied to about that, and that kind of defeats the entire purpose of like what they founded this group on. I get like this also goes into like the whole Radio being a pathological liar thing, which it's not an unreasonable conclusion to draw from everything that's happened. It really was a shit show. I read this shit for 2 hours. My conclusion is they're both rats and blocked both of them. Even if Dora's a bigger rat, but that's like a saying I'm getting rid of this rat because it's bigger and smaller. One has to get lost because it's a fucking rat. Yeah, that's what like I scribbled guy, you are 100% right. Like, they both have their issues. Adora is the worst of the two, but Radia is not innocent. I cannot stress that enough. They are both bad. They are both wrong. And so this is her saying that she formerly worked as a chemical engineer for the government, and she does large-scale enterprise architecture network engineering. And this is Adora saying her first statement was not on her resume of work experience. Also, Rosie Inkwell, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. She said her resume had no gaps either, nor did she have a degree or any statement of work as a chemical engineer. And this is another screenshot of her talking to somebody where she says, I obtained 2 engineering degrees with concentrations, but worked my entire uni career as well. I didn't necessarily have a support system, so I pushed myself very hard. She says, I do redacted engineering, work for redacted. It's life, but definitely not worth what it's filled, and yada yada. And then, there's a clip from Adora's YouTube of her speaking on her education backgrounds, which does not line up with the 2 engineering degrees. I don't feel like we really have to watch that, I'll be so honest. And then this was stated freely in my public community server back in 2023. She had told us she had 2 engineering degrees, when in reality she had, as listed on her LinkedIn, a degree in biology and a degree in environmental science and engineering. She has 2 degrees. I understand why they're like, she did lie about it, but it's like, the thing is, it's small lies that she's doing, in my opinion. Like, it's all small lies, but it's still lying, which again, Adora has the background of her, like, Adora's very sensitive to lying, basically, is what it comes to. Adora's very sensitive to lying because she had to deal with it with her father. And so this all coming up is kind of triggering for Adora, which, you know, I mean, you shouldn't lie in general. That's why I say, like, there are issues on both sides. Like, they're not both, oh, I need to charge my phone. Oh my god. Hold on. I have to plug this in. I appreciate this fence sitting. It sounds like you're victim blaming. Radia fucked up too, but it kind of feels like you're being too hard on her. I don't think so. I think Radia's a grown-ass woman and should be held responsible for her actions. Radia is yes, Radia's a victim, but she didn't, she also has her problems. And I feel like it's disingenuous for me to just say, oh, Adora's the only bad person here. I feel like it's very disingenuous for me to say that Radia did not do bad herself. I'm being completely honest, and that's what I preach. I'm literally preaching it now. Is not lying, being honest. It's messy from both sides. I don't think I should say, oh, even though Radia did bad and she lied and she didn't do XYZ thing, we need to go past that because it's all Adora's fault. They're both bad. Adora's worse, but they're both bad. Yeah, it's not just black and white. It's not just there's a good side and a bad side. It's very much an extremely nuanced and messy situation. Yeah, they're both grown-ass women. And this is a scientific study that VTubing causes high school drama brain. No, for real. Genuinely. So genuinely. But yeah, no, I'm not going to say Radia is innocent in this. I'm not going to say that whatsoever. I'm also not saying Adora's not a bad person. Adora very much ignored plenty of things. She did slander her name. She did dox Radia by giving somebody her IRL name. Adora did very bad, but Radia also did lie about her 2 engineering degrees. She has lied about, or was not fully honest about the whole food poisoning thing. It's, again, up for debate if she did that to garner donations or whatever it was. That is the case. She should have told her friends about the food poisoning. They should not have found out from other community members to the point where it could look bad on them that they don't even know the person that they're with had food poisoning when she has underlying stomach issues. Like, Radia's done bad things. She has lied. She did not check in with the VTuber she was supposed to like get the confirmation from for Anime North whenever she specifically told that she specifically told the other people in Project STEM she had talked to these people when she hadn't. She's not innocent. She's not innocent. She has her issues. Now, yeah, I don't think it's fence sitting when they are both assholes wholeheartedly. No one should tell you every little medical issue you have. Who said that? Literally, who said that? I feel like yelling into the VTuber void. Can you go one day without drama? Just one day? Yes. Yeah, we shouldn't even be here. This shouldn't have been happening. That's really what this is. Yeah, and that's a very good point. If you're telling people publicly something that's going on with you, why would you not tell your friends that you are actively with, to the point that they got that information from viewers. They didn't get that from the source that they are physically there with her. And they didn't get that from her until they found out by other viewers in the community asking them hey, is Radia doing better? That's just something, if I'm telling people I'm not feeling good, I'm gonna tell my homies I'm not feeling good. I'm not implying she should at all. No, you're just wrong. I'll be honest, Gemma, you're wrong. And I'll just say it like that. You're assuming things on me that I'm not saying, nor am I implying. And it is what it is. So I'm gonna continue on with this now. Yeah, why should I get harassed because my friend told her weirdo friends I poisoned? Exactly. Neither side is innocent, but both sides did make honest mistakes. Yeah, they just handled it like literal middle schoolers. 100%. So, anyways, I digress from that. Going back into the document, Adora says here, as for someone claiming all of the messages before were lies because I was sending two-faced messages, please check the timestamps. And then they say a brief Adora was, this was her saying that she's lying. And then she says, the night of the 3rd is when I learned about Adora's education background. At that point, I was hurt and realized my friendship was probably ending after having heard her publicly talk badly about me, as well as her education background. And I wanted to warn mutual friends that this was going to most likely come to an end because I collabed with Radia at least twice a week, and this drastic change of us suddenly not collabing anymore would be noticed. This also lets us avoid awkward collabs in the future. And then she gets into the doxing allegations. And she says that she was reaching out to Momo, who is this person, who asked for professional advice on what to do in this situation after learning that Radia did not have a master's degree listed on her LinkedIn, despite her having told us multiple times that she did. They sent the information we discovered her LinkedIn, yada yada. This is basically, I think Adora saying that she didn't dox her, but saying that like she did explain this with somebody else. But Momo did come out after this doc came out and just like confirmed that yes, she did do this. So I'm probably just gonna skip through this doc because it's incorrect. It's incorrect. I thought Adora's doc was coming out in a week, and then Ari and Zen thing happened. Then Adora's doc. Wait, Ari and Zen thing? What Ari and Zen thing? What is that? Fruit announced that her and other musicians never got paid for their work. Oh yeah, well V Shoujo's still owing people money, isn't? I'm not shocked about that. Yeah, Mouse in every yeah. That's not but what is the Ari and Zen thing? Scribble guy, I need more context on that. Yeah, literally the coldest fucking take in the room. Yeah, I'm skipping through. They're not friends anymore? Oh, it was supposed to be on the down low? Shit, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm skipping through this whole doxing thing because Momo came out and said that like you did dox her. So I'm not putting any like part into that. Zin didn't want her hanging with somebody else. I want to know what's going on there. What's going on there. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll skip that. Oh yeah, this is the messages between them. Yeah, that's juicy. That's tea I want to know. Yeah, new tea. Maybe you'll get put in more video essays on all the drama going on. Miss JS references. Oh man. That's crazy. I want to go see what that is so bad. So bad. But I have to get through this. This is more of them talking. Skipping through this. Okay. This is a portion that I wanted to get into. This is the next big portion because this is the next big call that happens. Wait. Yeah, thank you, Kai. Now this is complete parasocial nonsense with no evidence. People are speculating it's Mouse since they don't follow each other anymore. Oh, I hope something comes out. I can cover. I do not endorse yeah, listen, it's just parasocial nonsense and speculation. Just speculation. But God, do I want to know. Back into this. Okay, after this portion, we worked on making a call happen. The apology did hit me by surprise and made me want to start to reconsider to make things work. Here's the final call between myself, Palm, Finn, and Radia as Project STEM. In the beginning, the first portion of the call has 1 minute cut out due to Radia speaking on private issues. That's fine. We did not disclose at the time with her about knowing about her education background because we felt at the time it wasn't going to be productive or helpful. And then during the conversation, we let her drive the conversation and wanted her to be able to say her side. At this time, I'd already begun to calm down and started even with all the previous hurt things that could be healed due to conversations with good friends who wanted to help resolve things. This is why in this call, I'm willing to be friends again, potentially again. In the end, though, my feelings have since changed. During this call as well, Radia admits that she had been talking to other people about the situation. It's well within people's right to talk about when a friendship is hurting in private with others, friends and loved ones. That includes both sides. And so again, she includes important timestamps, the missing port, And then at these 2 points is Radia admits that she had in fact talked badly about us specifically on that stream. And I clarified a point that Radia had made issue with during the document of abuse and gave my clarification with her. Now, to get into this one, hold on. Oh my god, no, nobody's literally saying that. I'm skipping past that. Just getting here, but did you go over how the edgy VTuber group broke up? No, I haven't. I forgot about that. Oh, quick sidebar, because Scribble Guy brought it up. The V-Turds, they did break up. Just a fun update for everybody. Like two of the girls, the Nazi Miku turned out to be a guy, which was like a crazy turn of events for somebody who was like talking shit on trans people about them like faking being whatever the other gender is. And then he was faking being a girl and was using a voice changer. Crazy. And then they had the falling out there. They're like the main girl, Akimi, and like one other person in V-Turds were like, oh, we're gonna make another group, but this one just didn't work out. It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. But back into this one. Back into our current topic here. This call, which is, I believe, like an hour and 25 minutes? An hour and 24 minutes. Hold on, let me see if I can...
Don't think about this. I do believe this has impacted everyone's couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, to confront someone about the situation in the hopes of helping, like, to hopefully push them in a better direction. Right, and then for to get all of that you get back is fundamentally being shit-talked on their stream.
I'm skipping through this so I can just remember.
But this to a therapist, and I think like without having
this call kind of frustrated me because this is where Radia is basically saying that like she thought everybody hated her and she didn't want to like she just thought, you know, they didn't want to deal with her anymore, this, that, and the other. The rest of, oh yeah, I listened to that on 2x speed. I was not one like listening to that bass. And so I like, again, at this point in the call, this call is wherever is like when they actually bring up basically like, we are worried about you getting canceled. And thus, then, like, us getting canceled, they, like, I think Palm specifically, either Palm or Adora specifically says it in this call, is that they're worried about optics, because this would look bad for optics, and they ultimately, also, you can hear, and I feel like in this call, really, you can kind of hear that everybody is tired of one another. Like nobody wants to really be doing this anymore. It's caused too much emotional stress and everything like that. It's too much on everybody, and this is where they basically say like, we can't, like, Palm, Adora, and Finn are like, we can't let you be in, like, we can't do Project STEM with you anymore. We need to step away from each other. Well, you can say like, you just got to take a break and do stuff on your own right now, but we've got to do this. And they bring up too how bad it would look for optics, because I think they announced Project STEM on like May 14th, and then June 15th is when they announced that Radia was stepping away. So it was like a month later. Greedy, sorry it took me so long. No, you're fine. You're all good to be multitasking. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it was what? You won't even respect my viewpoint. Gamma, I'm not respecting your viewpoint because you are not listening to what I'm saying. You are making assumptions on me and what I'm saying. And that's why I'm ignoring at this point the things that you are saying, because you aren't listening to what I'm saying. And I'm just going to leave it at that. On your last thing, I'm not saying Radia's on the same level as Adora. I've specifically said multiple times that Radia is not on the same level as Adora. I've said multiple times that Adora is the worst of the two, that she did worse in this. It's just Radia is not innocent, and you repeatedly don't listen to that. So that's why we're moving past it. That's all it is. If you're not gonna listen, I'm not gonna keep doing this. May I have some some tea, good sir? Yeah, I really try to like explain things very clearly, and if you aren't understanding, I try to put it in other ways, but if you're intentionally not understanding it, I can't do anything for you. So it is what it is. Gotta get timed out for it. Listen, learn to listen. This is the honest and active communication that I'm doing to you. You have to also be able to accept that honest and active communication I'm giving. Yeah, it was the same thing over and over again. Yeah, it's just, that is a skill issue. It's a comprehension error. I can say they're both wrong in this because they are. One of them is worse than the other, but they're both wrong. It's simple as that. But anyways. So this call is basically, they're all tired. They're all tired of dealing with one another. And yeah, we gotta do some active listening here. Open the ears, active listening. We don't want a situation to happen. This is exactly like the situation we're talking about. Yes, exactly. Where somebody's not actively listening to another. That's what's going on here. That's literally the document. Intentionally close the Blaze, no! Oh my god. It's not necessarily to take a side, but more so just expose the situation. Yeah, I'm giving y'all the information. I'm putting in my 2 cents. I'm giving y'all what I think on it. But like, at the end of the day, I don't care about any of these niggas. I'll be so honest. Jay really said, shush, a black woman is talking. Oh, beautiful after. Thank you. Do you have any lore for your character? Oh my gosh. Well, if you check out !lore there, and you can see my character lore. Oh my gosh. Really shit you said all night. Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't give a god. I don't give a fuck about any of these niggas. I don't know them. I don't care about this. I just want to know the tea. That's it. That's what I'm doing. I love watching my favorite VTuber Blaze at midnight streaming, telling me about all the VTuber drama. Dude, no. It's been wonderful to listen to and work. Exactly. Is that like, I know people want this information. People want to like know what's going on and like at least be informed on things that are happening, but not everybody has the time to go through and read all this. And so I got you. I'll go through and read it for you, put in my any additional information I might not know, and give you any opinions that I have on something. When I think something's stupid, I'm gonna say this is stupid. We're just gossiping and spilling tea. And I'm just keeping a buck with y'all. I really am. And so, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care about these bitches. I just want to know the drama. I just want to know the tea. And I know y'all do too. Jay Allen's streams out. Thank you so much. God forbid we start yapping. Yeah, I'm learning so much shit. I also shit about stuff I don't care about. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, and then we make horse girls run and we gamble until we fail and they turn into glue, and I make a 40-inch bust down from a horse that couldn't make it. Can you sip some tea while you do this, bro? That's a really good idea. Listen, I do plan. Thank you for the hydrate. With the full body tracking that we opened up earlier, I do have plans for like making a full 3D scene so y'all can really see me moving around. And I can have a little teacup and be like sipping the tea. 40-inch bust down is wild. Yeah, okay. Let me, cause I actually do want to see if I can get some Uma Musume in. We've got less than 10 pages left on this, and then a couple of other posts related to this, and then I want to get into Uma Musume. So we're gonna go through this. We're gonna keep it pushing. We need that Kermit the Frog where you're drinking tea but have your model in play. Yes, exactly that, Scully. Exactly that. So that's a synopsis of this call here. Is they're all tired. They're definitely all tired. Radio was not, like, nobody's really, I feel like, listening to each other, and I think they do need a break. I think the break from Project Stim and splitting apart was the correct move. How do people even have the time to make it? I don't know. And then there's the thing about Alicia's cutting ties with Radia, And Alicia's not, I don't feel like she's really even that necessarily like important in this, so I'm kind of pushing past it there. Then Adora says Aurelia's friendship was over with Radia and began to move on when it was clear she was not responding to me anymore. The wound was still fresh at the time and I was hurt, and I told close friends about the situation to try to heal. I can't control people talking about this, but in the end it was my experience and pain, and I'm allowed to seek comfort in private just as Radia was as well. The only communication between this time and off Kai was me asking her to delete her copy of the Project STEM website. Her messages were deleted. I did not save them, but and they aren't relevant, thankfully. And so she says here, like, during this period after the fallout, her depression only got worse. My mental health continued to deteriorate as I only focused on work at best due to losing my best friend. House became full of trash, wasn't taking care of hygiene. She's falling apart. And she says, at Offkai, I told 3 friends about the situation in person that I hadn't been able to talk to about before. I do not apologize for talking to my friends about my pain, just as I'm sure you spoke about your pain with me to others. I then went into a call with Laserpig at Offkai where the statements on accusations of the document came forward. At this time, I was confused because to me, there was never a document. And I repeated to him over and over, there was no document, because I sincerely believed in my heart there wasn't, and I hadn't made one like my manager suggested. Unfortunately, the issues list we partially went over during the intervention that I had sent to Digi was perceived as one. I felt immense regret and immediately sent to Radia a message after I realized this after Offkai, what Laserpig was talking about, so I could open lines of communication to help settle misunderstandings, and she never responded to me. And so that's her apologizing here about this. And this apology was included in Radia's document, and specifically this apology, which was like when I started really kind of questioning, or like, I wouldn't say questioning, but I was like side-eyeing Radia's document, was because when this was sent, it was referred to as love bombing, which like, that's not what this is at all. And that gets into the whole therapy speak. That's a big part of Radia's doc. I'll leave that alone right now, but this is already like talked about before. She says, like, there's not a doc, but, like, I see why you see it that way. I never, like, wrote one for the guy who essayed me. Why would I write one on my best friend? She's your best friend. Hates you, heretic. The almighty Black Queen is speaking of God. Not to feel shit on a radio, but I low-key felt there was some emotional sway in her doc. It was made by 3 people. Radia. Yes, exactly that. I did not like how Radia's document was written, because it was written to make you feel a certain way. It was written in the way, like, and that's what happens. I said I wasn't going to go into this, but this is what happens in that therapy speak in the document, where they're like, right here, what Adora did is called coercive control, and these are examples of coercive control, or saying, yeah, and this is an example of love bombing, something that abusers do. Like, your document should not be written in that way. If you are putting out an allegations document against somebody, all that should be in the document is screenshots of whatever happened and context to the screenshots. That's it. The fact that you're putting those words in is to make the viewer believe that, and like put the connection of, oh, Adora is an abuser. That's why it's written that way. And yes, it's written in bad faith. There was a misuse of words, whether intentional or not. Exactly. Was this Laserpig or her BF writing this part? No, bro, speaking in third. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think it's fine if you have a friend help you organize a document, but if you are putting out a document against somebody else by your recollections and your accounts of things, it should only be written by you. That was a big issue that I did have with that document, was how it was written. Bark, you are correct. Excited dog noises on buzzwords. But yeah, so at this point, Adora says that I had hurt Palm and Finn by revealing what I did and sent the intervention list to Digi, which is why I asked her to focus her ire on me and not Palm and Finn, as I had made the situation worse for everyone by my carelessness. I hurt 2 of my best friends at the time, and it made me spiral into a worse depression. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of water. Hold on. So after Offkai, Alicia brought me into an amazing intervention with 4 other good friends. Having noticed my mental health was deteriorating, She gave me a strong heart-to-heart, or she gave a strong heart-to-heart with me, and I took it as best as I could. Unfortunately, after that, her mental health still got worse, and I believed everyone hated me. So now Adora starts to get into the mindset that Radia's in. I will mention now, my mental health is not Alicia's fault, and if it was not for her intervention, I would have never gotten the help I needed. It's got worse. On the Saturday I announced my hiatus, I put a painkiller bottle in my hand. I was ready to swallow it all before I realized I wanted to. So this started talking about how she wanted to self-delete. I'll stop going into that there. And then she said that she spoke with a trained and trusted crisis counselor on Discord, and this is her contacting that. And then after the attempt, she wrote the hiatus, which was posted over an hour later, and she decided it was necessary. She says I didn't like who I was at the point, having her Palm Fin and others in Alicia's circle and almost having self-deleted. She also never spoke once publicly about the issues, other than that I contacted crisis counselor on my return stream, nor about Radia because I wanted to move on. However, couldn't. By the end of Radia's, not because I felt something, because I was thinking, I really lost 4 hours with this could have been. What the damn? After I made my hiatus announcement due to my own attempt and having hurt my friends, Radia then posted an announcement to her friends, and this is one of the things that I heavily disagreed with whenever I read Radia's document, is that Radia should not have said shit about Adora's thing. Like, Radia should not have said shit about Adora's document or Adora's hiatus, specifically saying that, where is it? She's saying a period of mental and self-restoration spurred on by a negative mental space, which caused her to do and say things that she regrets. Radia, again, so much of this would not have happened if people learned to shut the fuck up. And this was one of the situations where Radia absolutely should have shut the fuck up, because there was no reason to put any of this out there. And that's whenever Adora did come back and say that this was not related to Radia. And she DM'd her saying, like, don't speak on my behalf, because it was absolutely inappropriate for Radia to have done this. She is wrong for this. And then she says, guards, play the shut the fuck up clip. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. And that's them. Mean girl energy, it seems to me. Yeah. That's I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not getting into it. Hi goddess, how are you? And so okay. And so she then says, oh, this is whenever Alicia makes her point. Alicia, another person who should have shut the fuck up. She did not need to be included in this either. I'm just skipping past it because I don't feel like it's really necessary to this. She stepped away from D&D. And she says that, like, she doesn't blame anyone for her attempt, that, like, it's not anybody's part, like, that's just on her. Me also, oh. I haven't even reset the day since last VTuber drama counter. The fuck you mean there's another one? yeah, there's multiple a week. If you don't want to hang, then just don't. It's not like you gotta work to it's so much. It's so, like, God, can niggas communicate? That's it. That's all I ask. This is a fight between two people who are close, ultimately hurt each other. Plus Adora manipulated a shit ton. Think of how, yeah, like, it's scary. And, like, that's something that Adora brings up a lot, too, is that, like, well, Radia talked to people about this, so I can talk to people about it, too, which, like, the way that you are talking to people about this is detrimental to Radia. You are painting Radia in a bad light. Like, I've literally I've never been in a situation like this because I can fucking properly communicate with my friends. But I've been in a situation where somebody that I was close with, and, like, you would always see me hanging out with this person at furry conventions, me and them stopped being friends. You know what I did? I messaged my other friends and mutual friends of us. I said, hey, me and this person aren't friends anymore. I don't want to get into it. You're fine to still be friends with them. It's just I won't be hanging out with them anymore. And you know what my friends did? They're like, okay, thanks for letting me know. And we fucking kept it pushing. That's how it should be addressed. You just very, very clearly let people know, hey, this happened. You're fine. And very much so, like, an important thing, if nothing bad happened, you let them know you're fine to continue being friends with this person. I'm just not. That's it. Okay, let me calm down. Hold on. I'm behind. Talking is hard sometimes, but people got to do it. They have to talk to one another. They have to. Everyone outside of Google Docs situations like this end up getting way too personally upset by them. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. You'll need to sit down and talk through your problems. I know being vulnerable is hard, but the mess cause is not worth this being easier. Yes, like, didn't spill any tea. It's just like, we're not cool anymore. You're fine to still be cool with them. I'm just not cool with them. We leave it at that. I've never seen any black VTubers deal with dumb shit like this. I know we all mind our bit. Listen, I don't even want to say that out loud. Because I feel, actually, no, I can't say that out loud because there has been this fuck shittery within the black VTubing community. I'll be honest, I'll be so honest with you. The reason you don't hear about it is because most black VTubers are way smaller. So it doesn't get circulated like it does with big white presenting VTubers. But this shit happens everywhere. This shit happens all areas, all phrase or sections of VTubing. Nobody can fucking communicate well, apparently. So I'm sorry to break it to you, but I specifically can think of like 2 instances when some stupid shit like this did happen in the black VTubing community. The bare fucking minimum, no, but yes, so crazy how effective communication can do wonders. Furries can handle things like a responsible adult. Johnny, I'm so sorry. Furries are also guilty of this. I'm telling you, there's no community where this doesn't happen, unfortunately. Not that I'm aware of, at least. Oh my gosh. VTubers drama stops for more than a month. It'll be a sign of the end times. It's crazy. Oh my god. I'm dead ass, dude. It'll be like the sky falling. Oh god. Yeah. There. What? I don't see it, not gonna lie. Is that fucked up? Yeah. Honestly, it's good that it's not. Yeah, it's a human problem. He introduced VTubers I've never heard of, and it's been shit for almost 5 years now. Yep. We had furry drama a few months ago, Femboys last year. Yeah, nothing is sacred. Everybody's dealing with it. Best way to not have drama, don't stream, don't leave the house, goon. No, the best way to not have drama, openly communicate with one another. That's it. I think I'm having VTuber fatigue. You're like, can we all just be cute anime girls on the internet instead of fighting? You are so correct. That's what we should be doing. We've lost the plot so bad. Oh my gosh. Communication and common sense are unfortunately rare commodities. That's so bad. That shouldn't be rare. The common sense. It's supposed to be common. Oh my god, we're so cooked. I just want to be a cute anime girl and maybe touch a butt. Is that so wrong? Common sense is not common. It's not. May I offer a solution? You can try. We must stimulate the goon economy. No, we're not. Oh gosh, I'm starting to not trust big VTubers. I don't trust any of them. That's fair. I mean, I'll be honest. There are 2 types of big VTubers. I think we talked about it before. There are snakes, and there are the ones that aren't snakes, but they also don't go out of their bubble because they know everybody else is a snake. And it's just unfortunately where it is. That's unfortunately where the community's at right now. Because being a snake gets you big, and it gets you to get to interact with all the other bigger people. And I think there are really good big people. Personally, I don't know shit about Iron Mouse outside of just basic knowledge about her. I think Iron Mouse is a good person. I really do. But I also feel that she's had to deal with snakes. I feel that she actively is probably friends with some snakes that she either does not know about or does know, but like, that's just none of her business. And like, she can't be bothered to be involved with that kind of shittery. And like, that's really where I feel everything is at right now. That's where the community is. Subscribe to the mindset of profoundly not giving a fuck. Yeah, no, for real. The plot was lost so long ago. Entering my bubble era, yeah. If you communicate in Goon for longer than 2 hours, please consult Touching Grass. Like, I side-eye a lot of big VTubers. I see them, some of them complain about things I find, yes. Some people have zero control over their emotions, so they act on them rather than calming down and coming to a reasonable solution of handling falling out with a friend versus snowballing all the shit they feel in a Google Doc. 100%. A snake near her would probably be Ludwig. Is that his name? Oh, I have no idea. But just tired of the same song in it. Yes. I block all these VTubers that cause drama, but there's always drama. I need help. How do I mute this shit? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the answer. I genuinely don't know the answer. I think I don't know. I can't help with that one. Because every space has it. I remember chilling with her, man, Connor. Yeah, big VTubers deal with snakes, but if they don't want to hang out with snakes, just don't answer. It would be very easy. It's a lot. If you take all the VTuber Google Docs, you'd have like 9 Bibles of words. Yeah. Better lines of communication, some motherfucking ethics. Oh yeah, let's not even getting into the morals thing. Hold on, let me get through the rest of this doc because we're on page 43 of 47. So like we're right at the end. And so sometimes touching grass helps you avoid online drama. It's quite nice. Yeah. Listen, I go on daily walks. I think everybody should do that. I think just go outside, touch some grass I walk for an hour every day as much as possible. And like, I think it does wonders. I think it does wonders for a person. I also just, openly and honestly communicate with other people, but touching grass, I think these people need to do. I didn't know or hear about this stuff and I still don't know. Yeah, no, that's the thing is like, I am Gamma. I'll be honest. If it helps your, like, mental to, like, not deal with this stuff, I talk about this stuff a lot. Oh, Reed, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I understand that, like, there are some people that have stopped coming to my streams because I do talk about this stuff, and, like, I don't blame them at all. It is a shift in the content that I made before. And, like, if you have to take a step back from it, like, that's okay. Like, definitely do what you need to do to, like, make sure you are okay. If that's taking a step away, that's fine. I really want to start getting into like more other forms of content creation and like making like let's plays, or I don't know if it's like technically let's plays, but doing like gaming content of like long form and just uploading it to YouTube, because a lot of times I get into talking about these documents, I get into ranting, and then I don't have time to play the actual games that I want to play. So I want to be able to do that other content too. Another thing that is playthroughs there, thank you. Another thing is like, currently, I am trying to, like, push for partner numbers. If I can, like, get to pulling in partner numbers, I can stream more often. And as much drama is going on in the VTubing community, it's not enough for me to cover something every single day. I really hope it stays that way. So, like, sometimes I am able to just be gaming on stream the entire day. But, like, you gotta do whatever you have to do to make sure that you are okay and like in the correct headspace at any point in time whatsoever. And so if that's taking a step back, like you're fine. And like I've had people who have not been in my stream for like years, and then they come back and I treat you just the same. I'm like, oh my god, it's been so long. How's it going? Like y'all are like in my community no matter what. I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're here, whether you're here every day or every time I stream, whether you're able to show up once a week, once a month, fuck it, once a year. I appreciate all of y'all, but I want to make sure that y'all like stay in I want to make sure that y'all stay in a good headspace too. And I can understand that like a lot of this drama stuff can be very heavy on people. And that's why I put the trigger warnings, and I want to make sure that like nobody is being harmed by that. So that's just my 2 cents. I like watching. I really appreciate that you like watching my streams, but I don't want you to also like be hurting yourself in that and like having to feel like you have to be here, I'd be a flaker to bad support. No, that's what I'm saying. I would not think that at all. I promise you. No matter what, if you're here one stream a week, if you're here one stream a month, if I see you once a year, I'll still be happy to see you regardless. You're still, just because you're not here every time, people have lives. A lot of the times there are people that just can't join my streams because at the same time I'm streaming, they're doing something else, and that's a-okay. But I'd still absolutely appreciate the support. You can also just lurk if you don't want to be like actively tuned in listening to all the shit that I'm covering. Lurking's an option. You don't have to be here for it. It's a-okay. But I really, really, really cannot stress this enough. I don't want y'all hurt by and having a negative mindset or headspace by the fact that you feel obligated to be in my stream. I never want anybody to feel obligated that they have to be here. Yes, streaming is my like only income right now. Yes, I am pushing for a partner right now. But at the end of the day, you matter more. Like, y'all are more important. Y'all need to make sure you're taking care of yourself first and foremost before y'all think about me or anything else. And that's all I really want to make sure that like y'all understand. It's like, you don't have to be here all the time. You don't have to constantly be interacting. You don't have to do all these things. You support me in whatever way you can, and I am very appreciative of it, whatever it is. I guarantee you. Also, hi, Lacey. Sorry, I was in a whole spiel right now, so I didn't get to say hi to you. But hi, how's it going? Welcome in. It was 1 hour ago that I found out there's a Reddit called r/. Oh my god. I gotta take a break from online because my job is emotionally taxing. Yeah, you prioritize yourself. Exactly. So I don't watch every stream because I can't always handle the drama stuff. It doesn't mean I hate Jay, like, who does it, but your own health comes first. Exactly. Yeah, don't take this stuff as the end all be all of the VTuber sphere. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, as much drama as it's like happening in the sphere, there's like, of all of the VTubers, this is at most 10% of VTubers are like causing all of this and doing all this stuff. VTubers as a whole, I mean, I talk about obviously all the time. I mention how I like am trying to build my like audience and like build myself up as a streamer, like to show people that you don't have to do shitty things. This isn't a unique concept. Plenty of other people like are doing the same thing, and they want to show that you can grow without being shitty. So I'm not the only one doing it. So there are plenty of other VTubers that aren't problematic, like a lot of the ones that I do cover are. And yeah, it is unfortunate that the ones that are problematic are popular, but there are other ones, and it might take some digging. You might strike out a couple of times. You find somebody you like, and they end up being a problem, but you'll find somebody you like that isn't a problem and you can stick with, and, you know, let's fucking go. Like, you found him. But it sucks that, like, that has to be something that you filter through. But it is something that happens. Why can't we have a VTuber that's like Queso where they aren't a problematic? No, for real. Also, Chip, thank you so much for the follow. You stream when I work. I work third shift, by the way. A few times I popped in. I'm getting ready for work. Yeah, man, that's fine. That's fine. Brave to assume I have a social life. I didn't know. The drama truly is heavy, but this shit is mass producing by the way. Yeah. Yes, you don't have to be an asshole to get ahead. Exactly. Also, hi, Luna. Y'all go follow Luna. I'm gonna be on Luna's stream tomorrow. I'm gonna be streaming with Luna. I'm gonna teach her how to race horses. Cause I'm a professional horse racer. I'm making Luna a professional horse racer tomorrow. So y'all should check that out. It's hard to feel like the entire VTuber scene isn't a mess. It's just a portion of VTubers, not everyone. It's like, it's kind of the same thing of like, the stupidest people are the loudest. And so like, you see very like, these stupid alpha guys making their podcasts. Like, most guys are not in agreement with that, but a lot of them, it's just like, the stupidest, the worst ones are the loudest. And so you see that and you hear that. And you unfortunately think that a lot of them are like that when it's really not. It's the same thing here. Because there's a VTuber, he's a huge streamer that literally isn't problematic. The only controversial thing about him is his food takes. Hey, wait a minute. Jay is like Queso because both of them have bad food. Whoa! That's crazy. I love cinnamon roll. That's solid. Oh, maybe we need a VTuber and see if we can make her own queso. I'm ginger coated. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? I have to dip. Have a wonderful stream. Thanks for stopping by, Kai. Thank you again for the raid. I've been converted. Yes. When you're out there like queso, but the algo pushes the problematic ones. Yeah. Jay, I think you would have ginger hair. I don't know. I don't know why you think that. I'll be so honest. Also, an ad break is about to start in like 2 or 3 minutes. JSL and too much mental stability to be a ginger. Oh my god. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna dive back into this because we're like right at the end of it. There's one more VC call that happens that I'll just wrap up real quick. Oh, hi, Not Reductive. How's it going? Welcome in. There's one more like VC thing that happens that I want to like wrap up with just so I can get through this shit. So I am about to dive back into this just to let y'all know what drama are we talking about. The Radia Adora issues. Radia put out a doc against Adora. This is Adora's response doc to Radia. That's all this is. I'm trying to wrap this up because there are a couple of threads that happen. Oh, thanks for the lurk, Nocturne. There are a couple of threads that happen too that I want to touch on. And so I want to get through this document first. And I've been yapping. I've been certified yapologist here, just not going through the doc and yapping about my own shit. So I want to make sure I go through this. And so Adora says that like she's reached out to people for like mediation and whatnot. Adora's doc, yeah, it doesn't help her case. I don't feel it gives context, but yeah, also leaking the VC is insane. Like I shouldn't have had to listen. Like I shouldn't have listened to these calls. Is what I really like feel of this is like I should not have heard these things that happen. Okay, and so after the 3 mediators that like she went to try to mend things between her and Radia, she said at this point going forward I never brought Radia up again myself to anyone other than the mediator one last time after. The only time I ever spoke about her was if I was asked and I said everything is fine, I wish her the best, or I've moved on. Or myself were trying to find ways to extend an olive branch to settle this. And then she said she'd posted like Uma Musume stuff, Night Rain stuff. She says during my hiatus, however, Radia could not stop bringing up the past issues publicly, despite myself, Finn, and Palm never saying anything at all in public. And then there are like 2 things where she like is on stream or on somebody else's stream where Radia is saying that like she says that she departed from Project STEM when like, she was actually asked to leave, and then accused Palm, Finn, and myself of childishness, as well as said poorly of our group, but none of us have said anything to the public, or to the matter publicly other than this tweet. And then, she talks about wanting to release this despite, once again, me wanting to have this during this entire time de-escalated end, as well as talk about the situation without naming us, that stuff. That's all this is. And then the day after I returned from my hiatus is the last message I ever got for Radia before she contacted me, which is Radia saying, I will never forgive you. And then that was the only attempt for reaching out. The ads are about to start, so I'm going to pause for a second, but we're about to get into the last, this last like call recording. And then like, this is the last page of the document, but I do have to wait for the ads to go through. So I'll just pause there. Yeah, there's the ad break. That's while that's going on, I am gonna reheat my dinner because it got cold in the time that I've been yapping about all of this. I'm gonna just wait until after stream. It's not harsh, it's true. Yeah, no, I think I personally, well, I mean, funny enough, we're going after this document, we're gonna go into what Adora is up to now, because I think it's a very funny point to mention, along with like things that are going on. I do think Radia needs to take a break from streaming. Like, I understand them telling her to take a break from streaming and like the very content rotted mindset, I guess, is what she says. I think Radia should, I don't know. I actually don't know what Radia should do, because she needs to keep streaming. because it's financially like she needs to do it. I don't know. I feel like they should just. I don't know. I really don't. Oh, Triceratops. Hello, welcome in. I don't know. And you know what? I don't have to know. I don't have to know what these niggas need to do because I'm not involved in this. And I don't care at the end of the day. I just wanted to know. I wanted to know T. I'm not a fucking therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not any of that. I don't have to give my thoughts of what these niggas should have done. I just know what they're doing wrong, or what they're doing now is wrong, or everything they've done in the past is wrong. But the ad's going on for another minute. After that, I'll summarize this last VC that they have. What is this? Oh, okay. I also never mind. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna just wait for the ads to end, and then we can wrap this shit up. Let me close out of some of these that I have open, and then we'll get into we're gonna get into Alicia's parts of this. I know I skipped some of the stuff Alicia said, but of course she does come up because I don't know, this woman cannot stay out of things. I just again just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Simply shutting the fuck up would do so many people so many wonders. But they refuse, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the urge to not shut the fuck up is, I guess. I don't know. But welcome back from the ads. So this was Radia. Radia basically sent this message to Adora before Radia attempted to self-delete herself. And she said Adora's saying here she just hopes that Radia gets the help she needs, which that will come up again. This is what Adora sends to the third mediator. That she got that message and that she's worried about her. And then the three anonymous people were no longer further involved in any way after this time, July 13th. And then in the end, she never agreed to reach out until a week ago on the 27th. She reached out to me with demands to have a call through an anonymous and neutral third party. At the time, I was dealing with my mom going through surgery for a hip replacement. So I asked for a time extension and to be done on the 30th of July instead of the 27th. I was readily and happily agreed, thinking we could finally move on. She stated in DMs that are now deleted that she would need a neutral party in the call, but unfortunately this neutral party was Laserpig, who helped write the cancel doc against me. This is something Laserpig is not a neutral party, nor was one at this point in time, which I agree with 100%. This was a, I would say this was a 1.5 V1, because while Laserpig was supposed to be a neutral party and they really weren't, they didn't add too much to the conversation anyways. She says Radia and Laserpig did not want to move on. They instead interrogated me, especially when Laserpig was never involved in the situation, but instead involving himself. And then she says, I was immediately at the beginning of the call threatened with legal action, so in my own safety to protect myself. Oh, Wiz! Hold on, I gotta pause. Oh, my fellas. Hi, Wiz! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome in, everybody. If you don't know who I am, I'm YayJBay, two-form VTuber, covering drama right now. How was Marvel Rivals? How was your stream? Also, if you got a raid and run, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Stream's very tiring. But welcome in, everybody! Radia's doc is disjointed because she had another writer. IDK, she should have just asked Laserpig. Yeah, I have major issues with Radia's doc because it is written by 3 people. Or 2.5 people. I don't know. I have issues with Radia's doc. I'll leave that alone. Drama oh yeah, there's so much. So we're kind of wrapping it up now, but it's been a ton. So this last call that they have, this is a call between Adora, Radia, and Laserpig. It's a 25-minute call. This is so stupid. And I'll be honest that this is stupid. But whenever I was listening to this, I do think it's a little funny because like in the middle of the call, you can see Adora just like doing this with her mouse. Like she's just fucking around and drawing boxes with her mouse while this is going on. And like, this is a very fucked up situation, but I was like laughing at the fact that this bitch is just drawing boxes while these people are trying to like have this conversation with her. It's not related to anything whatsoever. It's just something that tickled me a little bit. But what happens in this? Yeah, she got bored. And what happens in this call is Adora is not really participating. She's stimming. You're right. You're so right. You're so right. The Project Stim. You're right. Adora is not really participating in this conversation because she is just saying the same things of like, we hurt each other. I just want to bury the hatchet and move on. Like, this was a private matter. We hurt each other. We should bury the hatchet and move on. And that's all that Adora is really saying. Where Radia and Laserpig are like pressing her. Laserpig specifically pressing her of like trying to ask her, what did Radia do to hurt you? Which I don't feel like is really appropriate for this. Especially kind of with like what was happening. But also Adora is not like really participating in it. They even make a like Laserpig at some point was like, if this was a drinking game and I took a shot for every time he said, let's just bury the hatchet, I'd be dead by now. Because Adora's just repeating the same things. And like at one point, like Radia is this genuinely, this feels like not in the same way, but it feels like Radia doing to Adora what Adora did to Radia. And I say that in the sense of Adora and with Palm and Finn, like, kind of coming at Radia very aggressively with their emotions about very small things. It's not the same vein. This is obviously bigger things, but it's Radia coming at Adora with her emotions now, and Adora is just shut down from it completely. So I find it a little ironic that happens. But this call is really just Radia venting now and like being upset. I feel like very reasonably so from her point of view. Let me see if I can play some of this.
Frustrate myself so that this would quiet down in the early days. But that never stopped at you from going forward with this.
What is this? Hold on.
I think I'd be sharing with
I want to skip through some of this.
you.
I'm not talking about
Well,
Radia.
from the bottom of your heart.
That it can't trust.
Yeah, they're just saying we broke each other's trust. Laserpig is trying to get Adora to like say more than that.
Having
Each other's trust.
This
And then
behavior.
Radia is just
No,
very upset.
Because it is.
about
Leading with her emotions in this.
Adora,
And-
stop. Stop it. Right now.
Yeah, this is her.
I had a conversation with the man. That's why I'm even here right now.
Yes.
Is really on behalf of him because he mentally can't handle anything else at the current moment.
thank you for the
and
sub.
doesn't want to see this like erupt further.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Right.
My
Half of
sub
him
thing is in
because
the way
he-
right now.
Stop it right now.
Well,
I
like
had a conversation
Radia's
with the
saying
man.
this.
That's why I'm even here right now. Is really on behalf
Yeah,
of
you
him
see,
because he
Adora
mentally
starts
can't
just-
handle
just-
anything else at the current
just
moment.
stimming with the mouse.
And doesn't want to see this like erupt further.
Adora starts simming with the mouse there. Again, it tickled me a little bit. I can't lie. Is it saying that she actually sounds like, no, I thought that too. You're not right. I know what you mean, Tricks. But like, this is Radia very much like no longer holding back and kind of like being as held in and in her depressive state as she was. And that's what's happening here. You know what group isn't dead and has been going on for a year plus strong? Fang Gang, baby, absolutely. Well, I actually technically we debuted at we made Fang Gang at the beginning of this year, but we have been friends like a friend group longer than that. But I know what you mean, Toon. I know what you mean. Yeah, Project Stim debuted in May. It was like I think May 14th is like when that Twitter account was made. June 15th is when they had to announce that Radia was leaving Project Stim. And then there were like a couple of posts from like Anime North, and it's been silent since. Her voice irks me so bad. She has like a voice that I didn't think was like a real voice. I don't know how to describe it. Coming super late. Just got out of D&D. Can't wait to watch the VOD and find out what's going on. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot, Fox. It's been a lot. I hope your D&D was well. Thanks for coming in. Another 20 trillion to the Fang Gang. Yes. May. So this group lasted. It lasted from May until August. Because like August like 6th or whatever is when did this first talk? August 6th. Yeah. It lasted until like August. So May, June. It kind of devolved in June, July. And then, yeah, 3 months. Basically 3 months. Fang Gang featuring for God, Nick, no. Yeah, very dummy mommy like voice that like I thought that was a voice she was putting on for stream. It was crazy to like hear that's her real voice. I'm not gonna lie. The way Radio's talking, building up to this point is very theatrical. Is that a word? Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like that AI love, but that's someone's real. Yes. I know what you mean. Oh my gosh, hi Bear. Hello, welcome in. How's it going? So that's their call. It's Radia, honestly trying to like get her feelings out there. Adora's shut down at this point. Adora's just saying the same thing, so they just end the call after that. Damn, do narration over Nat Geo documentaries. Trigger my fight or flight response, and I'm a flightless hope. Am I crazy for feeling bad? Like if you planned a group and you have this level falling out, I question if you are all even genuine. Yeah, that's it sucks. Like that's the thing is like this shit is awful. It's awful that this happened. I did see we're gonna get into that. Reductive. I wanted to get through this document first, and I stopped and yapped a lot of times. But that call is just Radio really like taking charge, I feel, and not letting her mind or the things that Adora like she feels that like came from all of those conversations really hold her back anymore. And so she's trying to like get everything out there of how she feels, and Adora's just shut down in that. So it's really an unproductive call. And I don't think Laserpig being there was very helpful, because Laserpig again was not a neutral party in that. In just trying to get like details, I guess, for like in a situation that they were not a part of. But I digress from that. I'm gonna skip over down to this. It was an after process set of emotions, if that makes sense. Right? It felt like that. Yeah, what Adora did to Radia is fucked up. Exactly. And so Radia is valid in her kind of like crash out that she's trying to have in this call. But at the point that Radia's trying to crash out, Adora's just done. And just a broken record of we both hurt each other. We both like lost trust. We should just bury the hatchet. And so it doesn't work out in, I feel like, what Radia wanted out of that. Which then gets into the whole Radia making the document and putting everything out here. But that's something that like is what happened there. So I'm just skipping down to this. This is Adora saying in conclusion, two friends genuinely had hurt each other. Both had attempted to self-delete, were toxic, and in the end it would have been best if we both just moved on. But Radia decided to come at me after me with a document instead, despite my best efforts to keep communication open. Nobody committed a crime, and this should have never been written. I mean, you did. Adora did dox her. So, you know, that did happen. Kind of did commit a crime. And we also don't know what state you're in, so we don't know if you leaking these private conversations is a problem either. There might have been crimes committed. Don't know. So I can't speak on those. So we both messed up and we're not good friends for each other in the end. I don't know if having asked her to explain her education background when I found out would have changed anything. But in the end, I just want to move on with my life. And since my hiatus over 6 weeks ago, she continued to speak in her document that she had been willing to move on from this for months, when in reality, she had threatened me with lawyers, as well as never responded to any of my communications or attempted to reach out after I'd no longer been speaking about her for a month and wanted to move on. Oh, that's another thing that happens is like, Adora's like, I haven't spoke about you like for the past month. And like, yeah, you haven't spoken about her then, but you spoke about her previously, and that's the issue that like Radia's trying to bring up to you. But she kind of just deflects that. And I'll leave that be. She says thank you for those who like tried to reach out. She said, I'm not going to debunk every testimony against me that is without evidence. Believe in the end what you want, because I cannot give evidence for things I did not do. Yes, I talked to my friends. And Radia did with hers, which she also admitted in the second call. Looking to friends for support is not a crime. The problem with going to friends for support is the way that you do it. That is the issue here. 2025 is, oh yeah, it's a worse year for VTubers. It's honestly the worst. All this needs to be erased, like the Void Sentry in One Piece. This is Adora's. Yeah. Adora is shitty. Radia fucked up in a lot of situations too, but Adora is very much very shitty. And I mean, I wouldn't be friends with either of these bitches. I'll say that. I wouldn't be friends with Radia. I definitely wouldn't be friends with Adora. Because these are people that cannot openly communicate like how they're feeling at certain times. And the way that, especially Adora, Radia, I don't feel like was really that bad with this. It's Adora going around and talking shit about Radia to everybody else, on this situation and in slandering Radia in that. It's awful. It's awful. So she says, like, anybody who wants to make a statement about me, my communication lines are open if you want to talk and settle things or have issues. But before this point, I was already about to have to make a financial decision to potentially leave content and return to being an engineer in order to pay my bills. So, I mean, update. It looks like Adora might not be coming back to content because she was already looking at potentially leaving content. I don't think this is gonna help out in keeping her around. She says she just want to move on with her life, yada yada, and thank you for reading and listening. Oh, what? Did I miss something? Oh, they're each other's throats more than Superman and Lex Luthor at this point, or Batman and Superman. Whereas Dr. Arrestor, Radia's unstable, Plum is a huge nerd. Let's face it, at the end of the day, I love VTuber titties. I did not get to 30 plus years of age to become friends with children, really showing they're in their teens. No, for real. So that is, it took us, what, how long have I been streaming? To 3? Oh, I've only been live for almost 3.5 hours. Okay, I thought I was way past the 4-hour mark. Took us like 3 hours to get through this, but we've gone through this whole document. I do have additional information that I want to put. So one thing that did come up was Alicia quote tweeted this. Oh, AC, thank you for the follow. Alicia quote tweeted this. And Alicia says, Adora and I had an amazing friendship, and I don't regret the fun moments we've had. I do think she is turning her life for the better, but I no longer wish to be a part of it. I'm not siding with Radia or Adora. I'm simply just walking away from both. But I've been given a lot of screenshots from people I've never interacted with, and also reading about the mean girl behavior is something I don't tolerate in my spaces. I do not hate either of them and wish them both good mental health journeys and healing. Statement on my previous statements about Radia. I've also formed new opinions on Adora based off new information. No Google Docu here, boys. Just me dipping out and vibing to One Piece. I so genuinely just feel like Alicia should shut the fuck up. I just don't think she needs to put her 2 cents into these things. I really and truly don't. I get that you got your dunk off of Radia because she was talking shit about your, oh my god, I should not be just scrolling this while I show my Twitter. Hold on. Oh, I'm so glad I stopped because the next fucking swipe was some shit that would get me banned. Yeah, here we go. Let me bring this back. Oh man, that was definitely not my smartest. Yeah, Twitter moment. Yeah, like her getting this dunk off on Radia whenever Radia put her in her document, just to like kind of turn back and be like, you know what, I'm just leaving from this completely. Like, it was titties and it was coochie lips that I could see. I don't think it was bare coochie, but you could like see the lip through the panties. I don't think I can have that on Twitch. Also banned from what? V pussy? What is that? Johnny, what the fuck is it? What is that? Not the coder lives. I'm telling you, I had to take the screen down. I'm not trying to get banned like that. Vussy, V pussy is crazy, bro. Is that the Vussy? What is that? What is that? Is that a thing? V Tussy? Please tell me this isn't more drama. It's the same drama. Doodles. Don't worry. It's just extensions of that, bro. What is V pussy? What is that? Is that a group? Is that like a group of LootTubers? So I need some context. I need some context into this. You can't just drop that word and then tell me Blue website stuff. Okay, so it's like a LootTuber group on the Blue website. I don't think that like, cause they said what. I'm so okay. I understand what you were saying now. I misread your message. You were saying I almost got banned for V-Pussy. I thought you were saying Alicia almost got banned from a group called V-Pussy. Oh my god. Bro, I was like, there's no way. I've never heard of this group. Listen, I'm not really in like the LootTuber spaces like that. I'm not a LootTuber. I don't know them. But I thought this was a crazy new group I wasn't aware of. Not the clip. Oh my god. Oh. Man, I thought I thought it was a group. Oh, Wadi, tell me I have an idea for a new group. Bro, I thought this is fuck me shoujo, where me pussy. Oh, okay. I understand. I was misunderstanding the like message that. Oh man. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, we went on a whole rant about putting V in front of normal word. Bro, my V coochie pig, my V booty hole brat. I'm just seeing added up a countdown until she realizes. Oh my god. I'm so fucking stupid. Okay. Oh man. Bro, I see you, VI Spice, VJ. Golly. Oh, fuck. Okay, I gotta get back into this. So, anyways, I think Alicia should have just shut the fuck up. That's always been my conclusion from her. Now, I did want to address this. I did want to see your premiere group for femboys, himbos, and twinks starring Wani, I'm Not a Femboy, The Magnificent Mon, Where the Hoes at Toba, and King Dingling. Dog. Oh my god. Oh, where do I audition? Why can't I be in V-Pussy? Bro, use that femboys, let Tuna in there. Jay, can you bap John for me? Sliding my app right now. Oh my god. Oh shit. I'm sweating. I'm sweating and I'm crying. That was so fucking funny. Oh, holy shit. Looking for nice VTuber group suggestions? Yeah, the fucking Fang Gang. That's the nice VTuber group suggestion. Us! My group! We can communicate! Oh my god. V Honey Pack, if you will! Okay, y'all are, oh my god. I got it. We gotta keep pushing. We have to keep it pushing. Dude is officially in V-Pussy now. Everyone else DM me applications. Bro, don't talk to me! Don't talk to me about joining this VTuber. This is not my group! I'm not doing this! This is all John. DM him your applications. He's running this shit, not me. Okay. Oh, update. Back on track. Adora Bunny looks like she is rebranding. She changed her Twitter, not Twitter. She changed her VR chat name as well as her Discord name to Rose Rave. So that's something going on right now. It looks like it looks like she's trying to rebrand into a furry, which is crazy. To me personally, that's insane. But be aware, she completely deleted her Discord server, and she like jumped into, or this is like an old screenshot where it's proof that this was like people saying hi to Adora and her posting something. So do look out for Rose Rave or Rose Raver. This seems to be Adora just rebranding. So I wanted to make sure I highlighted that. V Fang Gang, you can't sue me for copyright. Johnny, don't make me lose my mind. Wasn't she already a furry? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know anything about this bitch. I just know it looks like the furry rebrand is incoming. So I wanted to give that update. And then this is Radia, like, kind of put out that she's saying now that the intervention call has been published, if you can call recorded in-stage abuse that, I have something I must touch on. I want to publicly state what I have stated time and time again via DMs in my streams and on my own stream. Funari Mori was the only individual to offer an apology weeks ago, or offer me an apology weeks ago and acknowledge something was deeply wrong with what transpired in that call and subsequently afterward. To this day, she has been the only individual involved to offer me any apology and acknowledgement regarding the heinous natures of Adora's actions. I have been provided explicit consent to state this and will continue to do so publicly and privately. Again, I will make this explicitly clear, as this comes from Finn's own words, that this emerged from a place of being concerned for a friend, but unfortunately got twisted to fit an agenda, which is how that felt. Yeah. And then she says, Adora went AWOL with her own issues and problems, according to her statement, which is when Finn stepped away to speak with me years ago. I'm happy to continue my friendship with Finn and will leave all other statements on her experience solely to her, but her remorse was important for me to acknowledge on a mass public level. Thank you for your time and consideration. And she says, I would be a lie to say I never imagined Adora would recall such a call, let alone effectively throw others under the bus to take public accountability or public responsibility for her own malicious actions, but I am still stunned from the sheer depravity of it all. So, yeah, Sylvie is sus. He was added as a creep, but he did have important information to update that Adora did change her name. So I'll take that. I don't know. It's good information from a unfortunate source. I'll say that. Sylvie has a whole doc out against him. If I find that doc, I got it linked at some point. If I find that doc, I can post it back in the Discord again. It's from like I think a year ago at this point, but he did some shitty shit. He did some shitty things. He's not a good guy. And then what was the other? Oh, Kono. Kono put a big thread out that I wanted to read, basically just his things, because this is just more about Adora's shitty behavior. So I wanted to say that out there. I got too many names for the same thing. Oh, that's not a furry. It has scales, so it's a scaly. All these damn rules. I like how names were uncensored, unnecessary people dragged in his screenshots. Oh, and Sylvie's? Wait, in what screenshot? In which one? A monster girl is not a furry. A furry is if they are fully furred and she has animal traits but flesh that ain't a furry. It is, God, not y'all arguing about the damn furries. I can't do this. Oh, the Kono thing really upset me. Yeah, that's what I want to go through and read this real quick. Rare ammo. Nice, zombie. Way to go. Let me read Kono's thing. So if y'all are typing, I'm probably just gonna like go through all of this and then respond to messages just to give a heads up. So that just letting y'all know. So Kono says, hey, I want to make one last post about Adora. About the Adora thing, just talk about my own experience. I worked with her for over 2 years. She helped me start streaming, picked out my models for me, and it became so weird. The more success I was having, the more she would insult me, belittle me, and encourage others to insult me. I had asked her to tone it down or stop a couple of times, and one day I had a mutual reach out and offered to talk to her. I declined, but I talked to Adora and let her know Others were noticing her behavior. She berated me for not telling her who had reached out and accused me of causing her to spiral. What made this so strange was I would raid her at least weekly, and anyone who found my stream, I would direct to her Discord and watch her. She told me that I had a gifted partner badge and that she and Radia owned it and would let me use it. Radia, of course, never joined her in this mockery. When her model caused Radia to have a mature content warning, I felt so bad that I purchased her a boob reduction from her rigger. She was in complete control over the size and how it would look. She pressured me to also buy her hundreds of dollars in toggles at the same time. She bragged to Radia that she had gotten me to do this for free on Hush and had even gotten me to buy her toggles. She told me that I could not mention any involvement in Project STEM, despite the fact that I helped her with making the group, getting Radia on board, drafting contracts, and even paying vendors over a period of several months. When we split in March of 2025, we agreed on neutral language to describe the split. She promised she would only discuss her negative feelings of me with the members of Project STEM. I found out that she shared my deepest secrets to 6 VTubers on a call. I found out that she lied about me to over 20 different streamers privately, just like she had done with Radia. She also instructed some of my closest friends in the space that they could no longer collab or interact with me, or else. Finn and Radia were among them. I only found out because they had the guts to tell me, and they both separately apologized, and we made up, and I love them both so much. By May of 2025, 2 months after our split, Adora was already back in my DMs asking for advice on issues. I cannot say regarding what because of ethical concerns, which I take seriously. I found out days later that she had reached out to yet another mutual creator within 24 hours of that call and was still actively trying to destroy my reputation despite still trying to use me. Adora told my friend Laserpig that I was anti-trans to get him to stop interacting with me. I am someone who does pro bono work for legal name and gender changes for trans people. Over the last 2 months, I helped another trans friend navigate insurance, make appeals, and obtain gender-affirming care. I run a thinly veiled leftist stream where I talk about trans legal issues and have trans guests all the time. This lie and insult broke me. Adora insulted me, belittled me, isolated me, and lied about me. I've been scared as hell to talk about my feelings about this until she left the space for fear of retribution. I was scared as hell about Radia back in early June with her post and seeing her leave Project STEM group chats I was still part of and had guessed things between them had soured. We talked a lot about our experiences and similarities we shared. I'm so thankful that she was so incredibly brave and shared her story, that she and Digi and LP, and that she had Digi and LP supporting her. I worked really, truly hard for these years to help someone I considered my best friend in this space because I believed in her and wanted her to succeed. I was rewarded with her systematically lying to my friends and associates in private, including months after a fallout occurred. If Adora DM'd you or spoke with you in VC about me, please reconsider what you were told. Thanks. Adora's just such a piece of shit, dog. Thanks for stopping by, Laughing Jackal, but Adora is such a piece of shit that, like, could he theoretically sue? I don't know. I don't know legal shit. I really don't. Kono specifically does know. He is an IRL lawyer and lawyer VTuber. If he could sue, I think he would. He literally does this for a living. I don't know, though. I don't imagine he would or will because he did put a public statement like this out. So I don't think that would happen. And honestly, the thing with, like, suing somebody is it's expensive. And it's expensive on both sides. And also, like, even if you do sue somebody, for them to, like Adora makes her money via content creation, or she's now looking at taking a job, just being like a silver engineer or something. She doesn't have money to, like, be able to pay back and, like, retributions and stuff like that. So I don't think suing would even, like, be really that good of a point to go into it. I don't think it would be worth it. So that's why he's just airing it out. And it's just Adora is like, I do hope she graduates. I do hope she graduates. She said she was thinking about stopping content creation. I think she should. I don't think she has a headspace for it. Not in the same way that Radia doesn't have a head. I feel like Radia's negative headspace towards content creation could be fixed. If she just goes to therapy and, like, kind of separates the fact that she has the mindset that her self-worth is tied to how much money she makes, which isn't, like, a crazy thing that happens. It happens a lot, specifically in America. But Radia could be fixed with the way she thinks about content creation. I don't think Adora can. And I feel like she just needs to step away from it completely. Yeah, lawsuits are expensive, time-consuming, and stressful. Half the time, it's not even worth it. Yeah, I hope she doesn't rebrand. I hope she does just completely step away, because this is shitty. But that is hopefully the wrap-up. I'm holding my words, but if Conan wanted to sue her, he absolutely could. Yeah. I know, Mero, you have insider information. We don't have insider information. I'm portraying information out to the public and just giving my opinions where I can from public information only. So, that's all I'll say on that. But that does conclude, hopefully, fully conclude the entire Adora Radia drama situation, all that. All of them are annoying people to know in person. That's all I'll say. Yeah, like my viewpoint of this is like I don't want to be friends. I wouldn't try to be friends or like know basically any. Maybe I wouldn't be fine, or I probably would be fine with like Palm and Finn. But the specific Adora and Radia, absolutely not. No, I can't. No, official ending statement tomorrow. Stop. Don't say that. Don't say that. Yeah, everybody sucks. I'm gonna go buy some now while I can still enjoy it. Yeah, I'm sorry about y'all's Arizona tea. That really is tragic. What's going on, Teddy? We just finished up. We just finished up talking about everything. The best I can tell you is to like check out the VOD, because it's so much. It is so much. I can't possibly give some type of recap. Radia and Adora both need to stop content creating for a bit. I think Adora forever, to be honest. Radia needs to take a break for some period amount, time. I don't know. Not my fucking problem. Everybody was shitty. It was so messy. This could have been an email. Palm and Finn are great. And Drake can party with them and had great convos. Yeah, like I would love to get to know them more. Adora is gone though. Can confirm she checked out. That's for the best. I don't know I know the Waifu Wars drama you're talking about. I don't know everything involved with it, so that's why I didn't cover it. And also, we are like 4 hours in, but I did put Horse Girls on here. I'm not going to like play too much of it, but there is a new Horse Girl out, and I do want to stream pulling that. So we're gonna do Uma Musume for just a little bit more like of this stream. We've got like 20 minutes left of stream. I'm pulling for these damn horses, and then that's probably it. You should do a message Palm. Oh no, I would never message Palm myself. No, hell no. Fuck no. Listen, I am still very much, I don't, especially, I know, like, you shouldn't care about numbers and whatnot, but I don't reach out to bigger streamers. I really don't. I'm not, I specifically, and this is to my, Mara, wait! This is to my, like, detriment at points as somebody who, like, I am trying to grow my, like, community, grow my content and whatnot, but, like, I never, ever wanted to reach out to a bigger streamer because I just always saw people talking about, like, oh, you just, like, I never wanted people to think I only wanted to be friends with somebody because they were bigger and, like, use them as a stepping stone. So I was like, I just want to reach out to bigger streamers. Simply put, I'll make it easy. Sorry, I'm too far away. Mero, stop. Please. I'm begging. Can we go, like, half a year without VTuber drama? No, for real. Genuinely. I feel like that shouldn't be hard, but somehow, I'm switching scenes because I'm pulling up Uma Musume. Look, Horse Girls! Oh, what is this? Is this resized wrong? Oh, there we go. New horse! Smart Falcon! Put the counter back to 0. Oh, yeah. I would just like there to be, it would be sick if we just didn't have VTuber drama, I think, at all. I think it would be very sick if none of that happened whatsoever. Yes, rest in peace, Grass Wonder. I'm switching models. Hold on. I want to be furry. I want to be furry for my horse girls. Yes, new horse, Smart Falcon. I'm about to try to pull for, bro. I can't believe this. Wait, the combo of numbers. Can I say I hate that combos around it, especially the advice is always never look at your numbers, but you need to grow. Yeah, it's I don't even know. I don't even know what I was gonna say. It sucks. It sucks. And so like, my way of avoiding never being in that situation, I was just like, okay, Ben, I'm just not gonna talk to bigger VTubers. Like, simply put, I won't ever. Oh, I got yeeted. I won't ever make or like have somebody even have that like inclination of me by never putting myself in that situation. Is like my thought process on it. The only times like I've talked to like bigger streamer, I sit and kick my Mero, what the fuck did you just do? Why are you sitting and kicking your feet? I feel like you're evil. I feel like you're evil right now. I feel like you're very evil right now. If I can't swim, why would I get on a cruise? I am you. Stop! Oh my gosh. 24 hours of no VTuber drama challenge level. Yeah. Okay, we've got scouting to do. Hold on. I didn't do my. Oh, we get a free daily pull on that banner too? Okay, hold on. We have some free pulls. We have some free pulls to do. Okay, well that was dog shit. It's a free pull. What could I possibly expect? I didn't know we get a free pull on the Smart Falcon banner. That's so nice. Why do you want Smart Falcon for so much? Because she's a dirt runner and I don't have Taiki Shuttle or Ogre Cap, who are also dirt runners or can be dirt runners. And I haven't really done any pulls for actual Umas. So I just want to pull for Uma. So even if I don't get Smart Falcon, I'll probably get other people that I don't have or that I'd like to like get and have more horses to race is really, I just want to do pulls. And I was very much somebody who, like most other people who played this game or started at the beginning of this game, saved all my carrots for Kita-san Black and then blew all my carrots on Kita-san Black. And I haven't done any pulling out like besides that. And I want to pull. So we're pulling. I'll probably do like 2, maybe 3 10 pulls. I feel like that should be fine on this. And then I've pulled this goddamn bitch. Matekane Fukukitaru is so... I've seen her so much. I've pulled her so many times. Of the very limited pulls that I've done on actual, like, Uma banners, I see this bitch so often. It pisses me off. Don't think I'll ever understand the gacha game hype. That's okay. It's not for everybody. I understand that. Evil all the way. Every villain is lemons. If Mazilla's the new game, you should name it after your favorite horse girl. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. If like, honestly, if any horse Pokemon is in the new game, I'll probably name it Maruzinski, because that's like one of my favorite horse girls. 3 stars I have are Silent Suzuka, Teo, Rice Shower, Tiamupra, and Bourbon. Rapidash equals Maruzinski. Yes, exactly. I really know this game. Goldchip is such a fucking character. I love her. I did a 10 pull on the sport earlier. Got 2 SSRs in it. Nice. Oh my god, Horse Girl Nuzlocke is crazy. That's crazy. See, if it wasn't for the fact that I was nosy and I want to be informed on all the drama going on in the VTubing community, and I know y'all do too, I would just be playing Uma Musume all stream or like playing some random game. This is what I'm about. My silly little horse girls. So we gotta do some pulls though. All right, let's see. Okay. Oh, okay. A gold. Oh, 2 golds. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this might go crazy. And a new horse to start. Wait. Yes. More Agnes. Whoa! Oh, bro, first 10 pull, we get Smart Falcon. I'm fucking goated. Streamer luck is so real. This is exactly why I waited to fucking pull on stream. Streamer luck is real. It's so real. Oh, let's go, baby. Oh, let's go. Okay. And another new horse. This is what I'm talking about. I need a new horse. Oh, I'm a little upset that I got Rice Shower again. I don't care for her that much. I know this is a lot of people's favorite. She's just not my favorite. But, you know, I do want some more dupes. I do want some more dupes, so I will take it. Oh, I gotcha, but stumbled on your lore video. I got pulled in. Oh my god! She deserves all the love. She's just so moody. She's so moody, and I don't want to deal with it. Bro, insane first 10 pull. I have to screenshot this. I have to send this to, I have people to send this to. Naren's gonna be, oh, I have to send this to Naren. First 10 pull. Bro, do I even pull anymore? Do I pull again? I got Smart Falcon, like, I'm good. I could, but like, I did want to like save up more. Another pull. Yeah, like I do want to save for Narita Bryan, who comes out in like a week. Yeah, just 9 days. Be strong. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I love Narita Bryan's design so much. Steal yourself. I do love Narita Bryan's design, but I was iffy on if I'd even pull for her. We might do one more 10 pull. Just test the waters, you know. We can just scout again, and then everything else can go to future pulls. I don't know if I was gonna pull on Narita because like I think I'd probably still be saving because I really want to make sure I can get Maruzinski summer skin. I want that bitch in a bikini so bad, and so I was already feeling iffy on Narita Bryan. But we're one more can't hurt. Okay, it's punishing me for my greed. That's fine. I deserve it. I got a really good pull, the first one anyways. Oh, wait, we're getting more Agnes's. Maybe I'm not punished for my greed after all. Why do you want her in a bikini? What do you mean? Oh, you responded to the wrong thing, but that's okay. Also, hi Super, welcome in. The game literally said your greed sickens me. That's okay. We'll skip this. It was, oh, I got another Alejandro Pasa. Okay, we're good. Oh, because the Bikini Maruzinski is like a good runner. Like that's why I want her. And I mean, that bitch is in a bikini, so I don't think that needs explanation. So, but he responded to the wrong thing. Don't worry about that. That was a go to your running. Yeah, I'm a boomer. Ignore that. I do want to pull. I'm gonna do 1 10 pull on this. No, I'm gonna do my ticket. I'm just gonna do my 1 ticket. I'm not gonna be greedy. I've been too greedy today. I did get a new SR. I do appreciate that. Okay, we're good. I'm content. I'm happy. Oh, Naren just pulled a special week. Oh my god. Can I enhance? Wise Jester! Yes, please tell me the wise words of the past. I would love to hear them. What do I need to start unlock this bitch? Oh, I'm still pretty far off. Who would I be close to? I know I'm pretty far off from, yeah, Agnes. I've pulled several of you, but I feel like you just gotta pull so many. Admit your mistakes and don't repeat them. If you can't admit your mistakes, you are just destined to repeat them. Thank you, Wise Jester. I appreciate that. Jay, you're my special. Body's full, we were happy. Thank you, Lady Luck. Would have completed a career with Maruzinski, even reached legendary on fans with her. Nice! Maybe Haru? Oh no, I don't think I'm not close on like basically anybody. Oh, actually, I'm close on winning ticket. I could start up winning ticket to 2-star. And I could probably exchange for Medjur Orion. Oh, King Halo's close to, or King Halo's close to 3-star. I just got Air Groove. Halfway on Pasa. Halfway on Grass Wonder. Not close on Daiwa. Halfway on Vodka. I'll get more sparse or things from the Gold Ship event going on. So there's that. Doors for the dog. Huh? What? Also here because one of your viewers killed me with your gun emote. Oh, what? Oh my god, no way. You also have bourbon? Yeah, I do. I don't like running. I don't like running her at all. Yeah, I'm not close on basically anybody else. I did 4-star Symboli, but it's gonna take forever to get to 5-star. Okay, I feel content. I'm happy. I'll get where is her? I'll go ahead and get her potential up to at least, I can get up to 2. That's fine. I don't know if do I care to get her potential up to 3? I can't even. I don't even have the things that she needs. But I'm definitely about to probably do a run with her off stream. But I've been streaming for longer than normal. It is about time that I do a little bit of a wrapping up here and I send y'all to somebody else. I did not finish eating my dinner, so I also do want to go reheat that and finish eating. But thank y'all, everybody, for hanging out, stopping by, everything that's been going on. Oh, because their designs, I don't know. I think the sides of their heads are smooth. It's like me too. Hand over Black Queen so they can be put to court for a... Of course it was Queens. I got you, Jester. Don't worry. Good night, Oshi. Enjoy your government. Oh my gosh. Thank you for stream. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I know we've covered a lot. So, I don't stream tomorrow, but I will be on my friend Luna's stream. Luna Yina. Hold on. I'll be over here tomorrow, with more Uma Musume. Luna hasn't, or she played it a little bit, but I'm going to get her back into it. And so that's where I'll be tomorrow since I don't stream on Tuesday. So I'll be back on my stream on Wednesday, 7 p.m. CST as usual. What time? I think it's 7 p.m. CST for Luna's stream as well. I'll post it in the Discord. I'll add, like whenever my Go Live thing goes off and it adds the Beybladers, I'll do that for whenever I go on Luna's stream. So I'll let y'all know in the Discord too, which if anybody is interested, there is a Discord. If y'all want a group of friends, stop with the damn V-Bussy. Pissing me off. If y'all want a group of VTuber friends that can communicate with one another and will not be putting out documents against one another, check out the Fang Gang. We're pretty fucking cool. But here's the raid message if you are not subscribed. Here's the raid message if you are. I'm sending y'all over to Mr. Montoma. Where the hose at Toma, as John calls him, because he is streaming some Minecraft right now, and I want to motivate this man to keep streaming more, because that's my friend, and we support the homies. But thank you, everybody, as always, for stopping by. Have a wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever time it is for you, and let's get this raid started. Bye-bye!